Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fan Cams. The graveyard shift has ended, and we're here on a Sunday night, round 21 against Adelaide. And you know what? I feel far from disgraced. I know it was a big loss in the end. What was it in the end? Why can't I see how much the loss was? Anyway, I know it was a big loss, but I'm really not that mad. And before anyone says, you're accepting mediocrity, no, I know what we are. 72. Thank you, Tim. I know what we are, and I know where we are, but there was a lot better signs in that loss than we've seen in a lot of our other losses. And some of our losses that have been smaller margins, and I refer to both Kangaroos losses, even the Richmond loss, felt worse than this loss feels, even though the margin was less in those games. So I think because there was a lot to like individually from a few individual players. Of course, we're going to spend a whole heap of time glazing the 2-metre Peter 6-seater display. But I tell you what, Artemis and Jono, lovely. I'm going to start to call Artemis Jackson Playmaker Artemis. He is a playmaker. He will make shit happen and eventuate out of nowhere. And he only needs a little half turn and, again, showing a heap of signs. Aside from one handball, which I think he saw a ghost because he handballed it to literally no man's land in the center of the ground. Aside from that, he was near perfect. Jono, again, with an intensity to just create and move the ball forward and through the middle. And Dyson Sharp, who is just delicious and yummy. And, I mean, he continues on his good form. But you know what? Will Setterfield, terrific. And you know the two that I just mentioned in Artemis and Zach Johnson, you know who was yapping to them the entire game at every chance he had? Will Setterfield. And for members who watched my video on the training insights, you will understand exactly what I'm referring to with Will Setterfield and how he does not fluctuate in terms of his standards. So I don't think it's a coincidence that two of our better younger guys today were constantly in dialogue. Well, Will Setterfield was constantly in dialogue with them. Whenever there was a shot at goal, either end, I would watch him off the ball. I would see if he's, just trying to worry about his own game, his own opponent. Nah, over to the young players. So we know what he is. And I said in the video, we know he's not a Brownlow medalist. We know he's going to have a clanger or two. He's not going to use the ball as wonderful as some of the more silkier guys. But you know what? If the kids who come on, we are crying out for leaders. Two of the best leaders are sitting in the rehab room and are out for the year. And Will Setterfield is honestly stepping up in the absence. So, and it's not just isolated to this game. It is at training as well. So big shout out to Will. Did I say hello to you all? Hello. I hope you're all doing well. I have had an enormous day today. I was out at 9 a.m. this morning. I had my nephew's communion. I went straight to Marvel from the celebration. And I've just walked in the door now. So I've had an enormous day. So I'm going to need some help. So please come jump on and have a chat to me. How are you all doing? Hello, Jeremy. Go buy some Fanta and ginger biscuits. Good game from 2 metre. Yes, this is a win for the Gingers, Jeremy, isn't it? Gosh, he was good. And his delivery inside 50, kicking it just like he wants a kick to him. The biggest thing today, noticeable, was the marks. For one team, the ability to take marks inside 50 and the inability to take marks inside 50 up the other end. We really, really are struggling with that until 2 metre Peter kicks it in to Caddy, and it's nice little bit of chemistry happening there. Yeah. How are we all doing? Good? Better? Yep. Celebrating Zachary's 20th game in a row. Yes, Annalise. Wonderful. He had I don't know if anybody could have won that duel today. A part of me is like, yeah, I know he's out of form, but a part of me just is like, did you have to just play Ben Mackay given the matchups? I know he may not have been as physical, but I just think with Taylor Walker and Phil Thorpe, that's a big job for a Harry Jones and a Zachy Reid. But Zach Reid, good on him. Hello, Bada Bing. Yes, it was a great call. We love the Zach Reid season that he's having. That's a win. Put that in the W column. It's not many in that column, but that one's in there. Hello, James. Jono, best field kick in the team. Sharps, best game. 2-leader, great game. See? Yeah. We've got some, like, even Redmond did some really, really great things. The smother, like just some really good things, probably evened out by a few not so great things, ball use, but I could even make a case Jackson Pryor did a few good things. Who else had Harry Jones had a weird game. A lot of good, a lot of shit. But a lot of good one. Actually, let me check his 1%ers because I feel like he was on, where am I? One sec. I like the 1%er because it tells me what my eyes. Promise you, hand on heart, had not seen that. Harry Jones, the biggest, most 1%ers across the ground, both teams. There you go. Yeah, but he also like dropped a couple of very easy marks, was a bit clumsy. So again, he confuses. I still remain confused about what to do with him. They obviously swung him forward for in the third quarter there. Yes, let's take a moment and do a universal thanking to Richmond FC. That was, I truly believe that was the power of manifestation in real time, because tell you what, all my energy was going into making them get across the line. So thank you, Richmond. Well done. Dan, Huss was great. Yes, Huss was good. Very good. Very, very good. I did like a lot of his work. Indeed, they did, Tim. 100-kilogram key defender instead of a skinny forward would have been handy for Riley. Too bad we don't have one just sitting around not playing. Yeah. I think we may have, could have, maybe should have just brought Mackay in, but oh well. Caddy's outnumbered and stuff, but he really struggles to mark the ball. His first quarter, I don't know, he and Kako had one of the worst quarters, both of them, in the first quarter. Not quite sure who was worse, but I feel like both of them got a bit of a rocket for the rest of the game because Kako was nowhere. Like, he looked, not just not getting involved, but he looked like he didn't know what he was doing. Sorry, recycling. Jara, I just saw that. I didn't even look below, I promise. But yes, they both worked themselves into the game. It's a bit hard for our forwards. We just don't get the delivery. 2-meter Peter was fortunate enough to finally get some free kicks tonight. Too bad it comes, weeks too late, and he's manhandled pretty much all the time, and he did get the free kicks, but we don't make it easy for our forwards at all. SJ, yes, pick one. Who do we take? The world is our oyster. All right, well, we're closer to the end. Who do you all want? Harry Van Haddam, I think, got a good pushing today because I feel like outside of the first quarter, Bryza got comprehensively beaten today. Didn't love his intensity for the second part of the game, but we give him a pass mark. I don't know. Give me Johnson ahead of Redmond in that team in defence anytime. That's the future. I think there's a place for both. I do. And in the warm-up, Redmond was warming up with the midfield group, as was obviously Farrow and Pryor. So I assumed that, maybe we'll see a Redmond running through the middle and all the wing, and that made me happy because I think that's a good thing for our team, personally. Hey, Josh. I saw heart and energy and will and want tonight. Not at all disappointing the boys. Brilliant effort regardless of score. Yeah. Bob McGill, hello. We fought hard with energy and passion against difficult opposition, and hey, Tigers won. Like, don't get me wrong. We fought hard, but we do a lot of dumb stuff. A lot of dumb stuff. Really dumb. And panic makes us go blinker-eyed because Jacob Farrow was out on kind of the fat side of the wing, and he was on Cook, And Cook was literally, wasn't worried about him 1 sec. He was literally like peeling off him at every time the ball went inside our 50, was just peeling off him and leaving Farrow completely wide open. I don't know whether he just knew we weren't going to use him because we had burned him so many times on Farrow's side of the wing, because Farrow was free, pretty much standing at half forward, opponentless, just with his arms up. He needs a louder voice. He needs to scream, because I think the panic just makes us either not look up or not quick enough to look up. But there was opportunity there, is my point. And a lot of them are culpable in not finding the little pockets. And that's where Adelaide did. They found the pockets. They knew the pockets were going to be there, dropped the ball short, and they knew that a player was just going to be able to run into it. Whereas Redmond a few times was dropping that ball short, coming into inside 50. Even McGrath did it, was dropping it short in a little bit of space, expecting a forward to either run onto it, run laterally to it, and the connection and the synergy is not there, because Unwin was running towards goal and not reading the kicker. So there's explanations, not excuses, explanations for why that's happening. It's just frustrating. Hello, Maddie. Zach Johnson just has to keep getting games. Amen. Cannot leave this team. Al Haka. I got the double message, the Al Haka message. Yes, Vicky. Yay, the Tigers. Oh, this is the one shitty part of the day. Angus Clark, the unluckiest game. Yeah. What did he do? I didn't see a replay. Was it just a knee knock or something, the first one? Is that what it was? Yeah, great point, Craig. I said to friends sitting next to me a couple of times, they went for Caddy, who had 3 hanging off him, instead of Wright, who had made a delightful little lead to the pocket. And they looked for Caddy and went for Caddy. But again, teams find that very predictable. And and just covered him. So there's a bit of nous that needs to happen as well. You want all of them? Well, we only have pick one, Sean, at this stage. Josh, you want Aki Butler and Gus Teixeira? Well, we can only take one. Take all 3, so I don't really know. Yeah, and this is where it's, we can't really go wrong, because we have a need for all 3 types, Teixeira, Butler, and Van Hatten in a certain way. We have a need for all types. So really, we can't go wrong, because they're all going to fill a hole in our team, whereas the Tigers very, very obviously need a Harry Van Hatten. They need a ruckman. And if they get a unicorn-shaped one, well, all the better. Moby, the Jones contract needs to race to the shred. Not good. Not good on TV. Lot right, lot wrong. Just, a little confused. Few too many times Caddy was leading up behind Wright. They need to lead opposite directions and split the double teaming. Andrew, I think young Edwards from Sydney might take the cake this weekend. Oh, yes. Poor thing. Brendan, another game, another switching off the TV before halftime. Did you? Okay. This was way more tolerable for me than many of our other games. Too narrow for Farrow. Nice, Chris. Drop that mic and walk away. Hello, Gally. 2 meter Peter played his butt off tonight. So many passengers. You out petite. Can't hang around, Fiona, but keep your head up. Love you, Gally. Thank you. Enjoy your dinner. Knee, then he got knocked out. Okay. Yeah, I know Kako knocked him. Was Kako the culprit? But I didn't see the first, he fell awkwardly. Okay. Hello, Tom. Sharp, Roby, Durham, midfield uni is going to be fun to watch. Yummy. Yes. Delightful. Jarred. Okay, a jarred knee. He was definitely double watched at stoppage closely. And Setterfield was double watching Curtin and Dawson at centre bounce. Well, it He was watching Dawson at centre bounce, but at stoppage, he was watching Dawson and Curtin, who were doing this tag team. And I can't remember the third crow who would kind of like come over and like walk in between them. So then Setterfield was kind of caught in between the two. Anyway, it was visually very, very impressive to watch. So a lot of work with them, whoever their midfield coach is at the Crows. Very nice work to kind of interrupt the attention that Setters was giving either of them, working together really well. We can only dream of that kind of synergy. Maybe one day. Hyperextension. Okay, thank you, Ray. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, okay. Can't get a nice fluid run this year, can he, Gus? Hello, Simon. The last area we should be targeting in the draft are tall forwards. Right, Caddy and May are all good enough. We really lack quality elsewhere. Absolutely. Tall forward is literally on the bottom of the list. Am I saying that? Am I being dramatic? No, I'm not being dramatic. It's literally on the bottom of the list. Outside wingers, outside midfielders, inside midfielders, key defender, intercepting defender, small forwards, small forwards, small forwards. Yeah. Have I covered the entire ground? Yep. Key forwards, no. We're good. If we keep Edwards as well for depth, probably not going to keep McMahon, I don't think. Harry Jones has a contract. So, no, we have depth there as well. Good point, Ray. Yep. Durham had blokes next to him all game. Pity we didn't think that for Dawson and Archie. Yeah, Archie did some damage. He did a lot of damage. He's a solid, very solid player. Kako has sadly been disappointing. I say he probably hasn't quite found that what's the word I'm looking for? Just his spark. We'll say spark since coming back from his back injury. But in saying that, he is still the answer. He is still the golden ticket of getting us out of this junk and getting us out of this shit that we find ourselves in. And I will die on that hill. I will die on it. More than happy to die on that hill. Someone needs to teach Kaki how to Kaki. Long day. Caddy, how to lead. We should have just pushed him up on the wing, made him go for a little run. I know we started him in the midfield last week, but Papa Fish, Kako needs to sit in the twos to work on some things. Looks not up to it currently. I don't know if the twos is what he needs personally. He needs something. Spark. Hello, Chris. Just left the ground. We're sitting behind the Essendon bench. Okay. Everyday smile. 2 meter Peter kept me watching. Bless him. Again, if you watch the video, members, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Round two. The switch. At the game, Jones just floats and is too easily pushed off the ball. Look, Zach Reid is very easily pushed off the ball as well. But yeah, a bit more strength. Strength is not his number one characteristic that he's his number one strength, let's say. But yeah, he does. Wonder if we could trade our pick 2 for Tigers pick 1. We have pick 1. I'm confused. Okay. Oh, there we go. Sorry, Andrew. Our pick 1 for their pick 2. Oh, I see. Yeah. If we don't want Harry Van Hadem, if that is something we don't want to happen, then we definitely should, I think, because that's a foregone conclusion that they're taking him. ABC Radio, we're commenting that we are the slowest transition team of all time, plus we telegraph what we are doing to the opposition. We are very predictable. Definitely. Slowest transition. We're very slow to defend transition, that's for sure. some of our ball movement gets very slow when we make one too many handballs. We don't get that fluidity, the handball chain, because there's a turnover in there somewhere. There's a clanger, an unforced error somewhere in there that just makes it all go to crap, really. Chris, it's amazing how many injuries this year have been joint and not soft tissue. That can only be bad luck. Yeah. It's better than getting the soft tissue injuries. I think from a psychological point of view, I think it's better, but it's never good. No, never good. Thilthorpe is a beast when you see him live, isn't he? When he was rucking against 2 meter Peter, I was like, holy shit. Yeah, he's a big boy. Considering how he started, man, this one's got the Darren Burgess stamp on it, doesn't it? Caddy's goal kicking is terrible for a key forward. Looking at Adelaide's forwards, they kick it straight through. Do we need to look at Adelaide's key forward? Can we just not look at a tall ginger man in our forward 52? Kicks pretty straight through it. Huss gone past Kako. I could give you that if they're playing the same position. Huss playing very, very exclusively, usually small forward. Kako, they are really pushing and kind of schooling him on the half forward role. They want him to be that conduit. They want him to use his good ball use, to use his nous, to use his speed, to use his agility, to literally get up and back and connect the lines. He's just not grasping the role quite enough right now. But again, he's learning on the job. And who's he learning from? Who is our best conduit player? That's Nick Martin. He's not there to even teach him out at training. So I do have some sympathy and I can explain it, but it is sometimes hard to watch. Don't get me wrong. All right, let's have a chat to Tim so I can take a drink of tea. Hey, Tim.
Hi there. Well, I felt similar to you, Fiona. The margin, I think, flattered Adelaide. I don't think we were, as bad this week as we definitely weren't as bad this week as we were. It was 4-quarter effort. Someone said there were too many passengers. I didn't think we had passengers. I think we had, skill errors, poor decision making, at time. I didn't think we had passengers. I thought the effort was there, across the board. Harry, I still cut some slack. He had a very serious, injury and hasn't really had any continuity back in the team. But I liked his effort today. He was in there trying, it's like you said, with the 1%ers. He's trying to find his feet, and I'm happy to give him some, time to, just like Kako. He was out for a long while with a nasty injury, and he just hasn't found his rhythm yet. And with all the other chaos and everything and positional changes and stuff like that, it's not surprising that, we haven't found much cohesion yet. And that's really going to have to wait until we get another pre-season with a new coach and a new game plan. So, I'm not worried about the current ball movement because it's going to be all thrown in the bin at the end of the year, and we'll be poorly executing someone else's game plan next year. So.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit, Tim.
No, I genuinely am optimistic. I agree. Zach Johnson, I thought he looked good. Good to have him back. I think all these guys, the results are meaningless at this point. It's much more important that we're seeing what players can do and how they operate together. And anyone who's out of contract needs to be getting game time unless they're already out the door and we just don't know it. So Jones, he's got another year, so it was pointless talking about delisting him. So
we could still, but we have to
pay him.
Yeah.
But I look like Kevin Sheed now, apparently.
Eddie.
So I think that just means old. Everyone old looks the same, you know.
No, it's the shape of the face, isn't it? It's the face shape. I see that.
It's all down to the headphones. They make me look like
prime Kevin Sheedy in the coach's box.
Yeah, but 2 metre Peter, good as always. I wish he did a kicking clinic for his other forwards. Though Huss, he's great. Just think how good he'll be when he's actually fit and had a decent pre-season under his belt. He gets limited opportunity. He makes 100%, out of them.
Yeah.
So, and that was you'll have Caddy do the, attempt the miracle snap and disappoint. Huss, he'll see goal, kick goal. He's great.
He does the fundamentals pretty well.
Yeah, and his pressure is good, and I think it's probably his inclusion has probably been to the detriment of Kako, because I think Kako, maybe he doesn't know what he's right. It's like he's probably trying to give space to Huss as well, and not be where he is, and maybe not playing his natural game as much. So he's sort of adjusting to that forward line mix as well, I think. So we'll see. But no, I wasn't feeling as despondent, after this game, which is remarkable to say after 72-point margin, but it didn't feel like 72 points. And
no,
I thought we were definitely unlucky in the first quarter to be trailing by 4 goals. That was, and there were some really shit umpiring decisions in that first quarter that hurt us. I think Caddy was getting crucified in terms of missed. He was getting manhandled, infringed. Maybe they evened it up by the end. I don't know. I think that last free he got was a very generous free kick. But I even thought Rankin, when he took that intercept mark, I think it was over Redmond, it was a short pass, and he cut it off. And I go, it was not 15 metres.
Yeah.
Because Redmond was standing at 15 metres, and he inserted himself in front of him by a good 2 or 3 metres. So but the umpiring, not a factor in the result, but gee, they annoy the shit out of me. And when the guys are really trying, and then they get no help when they've been infringed. And was that Merritt throw, or was it a handball, that one?
My gut at the ground felt like it was just a really slick handball, slick handball. Okay, but did you see a replay?
Yeah, the replay, it looked like it was a quick hand, as in like it got handball. He definitely appeared to think he had handballed it.
Yeah.
And so things like that, where that turns a goal to us into a possible goal to us into a certain goal for them. With these these turnovers and stuff. And at the time where we were hanging in really well in that first quarter, and I think it was like basically the last 5 minutes they got 4 goals. It was like
but the difference is as well, we were saying sitting there, they're just kicking goals out of their ass, finding targets out of their ass. It's so smooth and easy. And for us, it's
their kicking is good.
It's we have to like
their contested marks, they're kicking
a 5K sprint before we get a goal. Like it's almost like 1,500 push-ups before you get a goal. That's what it feels like as a supporter watching our team kick goals and enter the forward 50 for an opportunity.
Their efficiency with ball movement, put ours to shame. So there was definitely a skill deficit, out there, but there wasn't an effort deficit this week. It was full court press, I thought, and especially in that first quarter when they were, off the chart with the pressure meter, which they're not going to be able to sustain for an entire game. But they were, and they didn't drop their heads. That was like slowly being ground down, but they kept on plugging away. I felt so. So.
And the energy was good. Like they were getting around each other. It wasn't. I know we didn't have, any first goals, but as into first gamers, Artemis, obviously. But I just thought that they didn't even, with each other, the connection with each other still looked on point. They were still getting around each other. So, yeah.
I think, they've successfully separated the result from their game in terms of they're focused on what they're doing, what their teammates are doing, encouraging, the positive things and putting the scoreboard. That's what it seemed today, so they didn't drop at any point during, so it's like, no, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and, support the players, keep tackling, doing the hard stuff. But we've got a lot of learning to do, but it starts with effort. If you've got no effort, we're not going to get anywhere. So, okay, good on them. That's the first. It's a low bar, but it's the
very
first,
low bar.
It's the first threshold that we need to get over. So, So
consistently,
better than last week.
But this standard, it's not so much effort because I know effort can look like, they don't care, they do care, either one or the other. It's not that. It's like a competitive edge. That's what I'm calling it. Like it's just a competitive fire that no matter what, even if you're going to stuff up the skill area, if you're going to do something clumsy at ground level, you're in there fighting for every scrap. Like that's what it felt like.
There were lots of times days where we stuffed up, but then they followed up and tackled and and managed to wrest it back. So they turn the ball back over, and it's Sharp and Daywicks and Setterfield. I love their tackling and attack on the ball. I think Archie Roberts has been a bit off the last basically since he came back from injury. He hasn't been quite as reliable, but he's still giving 100%. But I'd like to see him back in the best 1, 2, or 3. But he's been sort of pushed down the rankings in the last few games, I think. But I'm hoping for better things from him.
Yeah, I think his last month has been really demure, nonchalant, whatever word you want to put to him. But today was the best out of the month he's had. Like the past month, I thought today his ball
he was less fumbly today.
Much better today. But he's not at his level. No way. He's below his top.
Yeah.
His top level.
So I don't know whether that shoulder is still impacting him, or whether it's just he's just waiting until the end of the season, not putting the cue in the rack, so to speak. But it's like, I'm not going to kill myself. I've got my sore shoulder. I don't want to hurt that. I'm just going to be trying get through games, whether that's what's happening. But he's not as edgy as he normally is.
Mm. And a quick word on Andrew McGrath. I've been asking everybody since I left the game.
Oh, I thought he was good today.
Okay.
I wasn't sure who was on, but no.
Rankin? Rochelle, sorry.
Rochelle. Oh, okay. Well, Rochelle got away from him a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I didn't really notice him positively or negatively.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he again, a bit like Jones, a bit of good, bit of bad. I didn't love his game today.
Yeah, there were no real clangers that I saw in terms of. That was one thing that was absent, I thought, across the board, and maybe that was the effort thing. There might be some poor decision making, or trying to execute the pass that was threading the needle type thing. I didn't class those as clangers, as opposed to the kicking it off the side of the boot or kicking it straight to an opposition players. So at least we seem to have eliminated that or reduced that this week and made that continue. But no, so like there weren't a huge number of players who you went and go, oh, that was a great game. You had 2 metre Peter, I thought was good. Day Wicks, I don't know what his stats were, but I noticed him doing hard stuff, and I like that. But Setterfield, I liked his game. I thought he got a raw deal a bit from the umpires, but I was glad he was back and in the mid. I liked Huss. He was good. Trying to think who else. I liked Angus until he got injured. Just his energy. He's like the Duracell bunny, isn't he? He sort of just keeps on.
Yeah, he started well. He definitely started well.
And
Paul
I was leaving him off the ground. As soon as he did that hyperextension on his knee, I was like, no, we don't need him back on. Just make sure he's 100%. Then he came back on, got concussed. So
now he gets a week's rest, and hopefully back for the last 2 games. All right, Tim, we'll leave it there tonight. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. That is the weekend done and dusted. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And
do we get a coaching decision this week? Do you think we'll hear this week?
No.
Next week, you reckon? Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if we go out to a third week. Just saying. I could be wrong.
No, please, no.
I have coaching process fatigue.
It's precious time we're wasting. It really is. And
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I prefer them to be as thorough as possible over needing to interview potential trades. That's just my point of view. I prefer the thoroughness rather than the need to interview, potential trades on the phone. So that's just my view. But we'll wait and see, hey?
Maybe I'm just too impatient.
I am too. Don't get me wrong. I want to know.
12 weeks seems more than enough to get your ducks in order, but
Well, we want to be thorough.
Crossed.
We want the
Fingers
process.
Crossed.
We want the process. We want it to be thorough. All right, Tim. Enjoy the rest of the night. See ya.
Okay, catch you later.
Bye. Yeah, everybody, your opinions on McGrath's game? Bit of a weird one. McGrath had some good fast runs through the back line and mid at times, however, a couple of missed kicks to Crows. Yeah. Like when he did do those zoomies and got out of trouble and evaded 2 or 3 and then just speared up the middle of the ground just to turn it over. So that's what I meant. Good, so good, like a lot of good, but a lot of bad and I think in the end we broke even, which is probably leaves you with bad, I guess. Tax, if Ben Keys is kicking goals against you, you're in trouble. Are we? Ben Keys is a good player. No? Ben Keys is a very good player. Hard worker. Very hard worker. McGrath only had 2 clangers, but he can truly do too much. Yeah, okay. Again, what are we classifying as a clanger? Like putting a teammate, doing the zoomie, getting out of trouble, and then putting a handball into a teammate who is being tackled by a Crows player. That I also consider in my head a clanger. I know it's not technically, but that leaves us with nothing. We have Tax, not a fan of Ben Keys. Okay, what did he do to hurt you? I rate him. I rate his work. He doesn't look like he should be a footballer. It looks like he belongs in a boy band, but I'm not going to hold that against him. McGrath made his usual 3 to 4. Hello, Anthony. Hope you're well. Usual 3 to 4 direct turnover disposals. The one to Redmond costing a goal momentum. Yeah, that was the Rankin goal, wasn't it? Yeah. They might announce a wildcard week to pinch the coverage. For the drama, you reckon? Yeah, I don't know why they would announce it with 1 game to go. Like, what's the point of announcing it at the Sydney after the Sydney game when we've got Port Adelaide? Like it would be a distraction. Not that I know we're not playing finals. Distraction for what? I know. Don't eye roll at me. I see you eye rolling. Don't eye roll at me. I know what you mean. But just do it at the end of the season. Like 3 of the 4 candidates are at clubs deep into finals. All 3 of them. So what's the point? Ray, at least they will rest Clark's knee this way. Yeah, just in case. They might send him for precautionary scans. Macca's zoomies through the back line never seem to come off. They do occasionally, but it's a 50-50 on whether they end up in our hands. The ball ends up in our hands. Still feels like we're playing Andy in the wrong spot. I agree. That boy, I agree. I thought when we didn't bring in Perkins or Caldwell, I thought, all right, maybe Farrow, maybe Andy, maybe Roberts is going in the midfield. But no. But we did see Redmond kind of in there. Danta, middling performance, some good stuff, some bad. Didn't really impact the game one way or another. I like him in the midfield more. Yeah, I agree. Skipper can't kick. When Husk gets an AFL body, he's going to be a player. I'm just going to warn you all. He's never going to be like, what are they called? What's it called? Not a chalkboard, a washboard. The washboard. Never going to be. Never. The shape will remain. Just putting it out there. So the aerobic capacity will improve over time, and that is natural. But in terms of his shape, that's his shape. And it makes him harder to bring down as well. He does not get tackled. Does not get tackled. Andrew, fundamentals were lacking from McGrath, ran into trouble, handballs to feet. If Josh Fraser doesn't want to coach Carlton, can we tap into him working miracles with C-grade list? I completely agree. I know there's been a lot of glazing of Carlton's list. I could not agree more with this. I think he's just wringing. I just think he's wringing the clothes dry. It's getting the best out of middle grade players. I don't know how many of those players outside of their main ones, of course, Welsh, Jagger, Dean, how many are just walking, Cripps, obviously, how many are walking into the best sides of the competition? So I think that makes what Josh Fraser's doing even more impressive. PB Magic, that Durham play on call in the last summed up the umpires for the game. Sometimes good, sometimes shit. Yes, Matthew. Yep. All right, let's have a chat to Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
Good evening, all, and just got back from the ground, and
yep,
and it wasn't too bad. Okay, so and let's get off the umpires because we've got bigger problems than the umpires. We need to find a couple of monster defenders with a bit of physical clout. Today you saw boys playing against men, and we came off second best. You know, Philport, what's the centre forward for the Crows, and the two big guys, the big monsters. You know, we were ranked top. Jones and Reed were just pushed aside mercifully, you know. And unless now I know Mackay was supposed to be the answer. We're supposed to have him he was supposed to be the person to help Reed and others in that back line to hold. And quite frankly, we're in a lot of trouble now. If we go to the draft and we'll get a key defender, I'm pretty sure they'll be after a key defender. We need to find some muscle, you know, and that's our biggest problem. I thought our midfield, you know, young blokes right across the ground, you know, Darren played a good game, and Artemis played a good game, and I thought that Sharp played a reasonable good game, you know. So you know, and the endeavour by Centrefield, although his disposal let him down a bit, really turned over at critical times, although it wouldn't have made a big difference to the game. But look, within the we're if you look at across the season against the top sides, we're around that 70-point margin loss in between, 50 to 70 points. And I think that's about 10 goals. We can make up 10 goals like that. If we're like that, if we can, no, we won't. It will take a few. It will take a bit. That's 10 goals, a lot. And I thought that McGrath confused a lot of people or players in this one today. Okay,
opponents, teammates, fans.
Yeah. And that's his weakness. That is what Look, and one thing in his favour, I'm going to say this: when he does dash and he's coming into that forward line, the forward line player, there's set plays. There was one there in that second quarter. Was it second quarter or third quarter? Third quarter when he was rushing into that forward line, I think it was, and he set it up to centre half forward or thereabouts, centre half forward flank. He was kicking it across. No forwards ran into that space except for the Crows defender. Now, either our forwards are not thinking quickly enough, and I blame Caddy for this. I'm going to give him a kick up the backside tonight. I don't care what people might want to protect him a bit.
It's okay.
I'm going to give him a kick up the backside because I think he's playing for free kicks too much and he's not holding his marks. He needs to get out on a lead and run. When he's on a lead and he runs, he looks fantastic. When he's static, they're manning up on him now. And they're basically spoiling his mark. Just hitting the ball out. That's maturity, and he'll learn that. He'll learn to be a bit more crafty, a bit more. And the one play he could take a bit of leaf out is the Crows. I'm bad on the names tonight because I'm a bit rattled. With the one who's retiring, the centre half forward for the Crows, the one who kicked a few goals.
Tex Walker.
Yeah, Texie. Yeah, Tex Walker.
I don't think I don't know if he's definitely retiring,
well,
so we won't retire him just in case.
Okay, when he does, maybe people try to retire him off. He can come to Essendon for 1 or 2 years and show our forwards how to play forward line football. He's not quick. He's strong. He finds the right position, and he muscles his way into the contest, and he protects his players around him. You really can't go wrong with that. And he's been a great servant to the Crows. Okay, so I think Langford played a good game when he was, I thought he had a good game. Merritt played. Yep. But again, Jones was supposed to be the key defender. He got slaughtered in that defence, and they had to move in. Now, again, he just lacks a bit of. I don't know what what benchmark do we have between AFL and VFL players? Like when they come up, In
the first quarter, I thought Jones had a really good first quarter, and you know what? He reminded me. He played like Ridley in that first quarter. He did, because he came off his opponent twice on 2 separate contests on the wing, and intercepted the ball and spoiled the ball away from being marked. And I think one was Reid on Riley Thilthorpe when he came up the ground. Yep. And Jones read it really well. He's pacey for a guy his size, and came over and spoiled it. And that's what made me think, I think he's had a lot of 1%ers this game, Jones, because he did a lot of that. But then he dropped a few marks that he should have taken. He was a bit clumsy at ground level. So, he didn't have a perfect game. But in terms of, I thought, maybe this guy can be a Ridley, but not when we're asking him to man up on Tex Walker or Riley Thilthorpe. So hard.
I see him as a halfback flanker or a back pocket third tall type player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Not a key position.
Or you put him back up forward. Like you can't be a key defender.
Yeah. When he fumbled a bit. Now, I didn't see there's a couple of times where the players didn't even realise they were in a position to get the ball, and the handball went to the opposition. We were on the run and we were going towards goal, and they handballed it out into. Well, they nearly handballed to me over the fence. I was on the other side, but But that's just inexperience. But I think that, again, when we move the ball quickly and move the ball, we look very good. When we try to kick the ball long and up in the air and slowly, moving the ball slowly, you could see it was pretty obvious we were getting beaten up in the air. And now, Peter Wright, I give him nearly 9 out of 10 for today's game, and after the first quarter. He had now, I don't know if you saw it, and people might have seen it on TV. At quarter time, he went to the umpires. He went to the umpire. Did you see that?
Yep.
And he actually spoke to him.
I did.
Spoke to them and basically said he
was doing this.
Yeah, and being chopped and all the rest of it. Fantastic effort. That smarts. That was, and fair enough, because
if McWalter is going to go to the umpires during the week to talk about Harley Reid, and Harley Reid gets 34 free kicks in the first quarter, which he's due. I am team Harley Reid, by the way. Peter Wright has gone long enough just not playing up and not getting free kicks. So, again, taking it on his own back and writing his own legacy for the rest of his career at Essendon.
Yeah, and I think today just showed how valuable a player he is to the side when he's on song, when he's and he unfortunately didn't have enough players around him. Kako, he runs around in circles, Kako, and I'm going to give him a kick up the backside too. Don't
worry, I already have, so you can too.
I missed the first part of it of the show, and I think that he needs to learn to win the ball. Look, you don't have to be okay when you're in the forward, when the ball's coming into the forward line and it's going up into a pack or got to go into for the big boys to mark. 50, and if it's going to hit in our forward line, it's definitely going to hit in a lot of occasions, going to hit the ground. It is going to hit the ground. His job is to read the play when that ball hits the ground, not do pirouettes around the bloody thing. Get in and get the ball, And I'm surprised nobody's, told him or dragged him and told him. Huss, I think, has improved 100% from the beginning of the year. And I think you could see something there. I think he'll get better and better. Mm-hmm. And I think that, so his efforts were good. Farrow's still a shy boy. He's still learning. He's still, I think he's a little bit tentative, but very good.
I don't know if you're on the same side as me, but there was a play where Farrow got the ball twice and was so hesitant. He didn't know what to do. He was in two minds, handball, kick, slow, down, backwards, lateral. It ended up back in his hands. Sharp, he gives it to Sharp's just like, give it to me. Grab the ball, and he just lowers his head, kicks it like a loaf of bread, bang, target.
Yeah.
Zero space for the brain to join the conversation and say, you better not stuff this up. Bang. Put on the boot, target.
Yeah, and we turned the ball over a few times and cost us goals, actually, a number of times during the game, whereby we overused the ball, tried to do things with it. And that's fine if some of the top sides use handball devastatingly. They actually cut you to ribbons when they use the handball. We're basically handballing. Well, I can handball it to you now. Just when you catch the ball, virtually next to me. That is not good handball. Okay, when you've got 3-4 players around you of either side, 6 players around, you're trying to handball it and trying to get out. It's not great handball. Handball is with speed and proper handball. Some of the handballs are fluffy. They're not really sharp. When I was taught and a lot of players were taught, it's virtually straight off the hand. Really quick and really precise handballing. And anyway, look, it doesn't really matter. We just need to work out who we're going to keep off this list to go forward. Where we need to improve. And there's a lot of improvement, and there is improvement this year. People can, I see, even though we got smashed up by Hawthorn, I think the endeavour's there. So you're going to give kudos to the coach for that. The tackling, the actual, in most cases, it was there. Although some of the tackling, a little bit, still not really tackling properly or hard enough. But yeah, so I don't know. So next week Geelong.
Oh no!
Down at Geelong. Richmond did us a favour and they won. Okay, today. If you wanted to say, get the bottom, we're 1 point. Was it 1 point? Just under 2%, 1.6. You say 2% in front of them percentage-wise. They play the Crows next week in Adelaide.
Okay.
I think so.
They might lose some percentage.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to lose now. I'm not sure what the average losing score for us against Geelong is, if anybody knows. But I reckon it had to be around the 80 point mark. They won't rest anybody. Yeah, something like that. But they won't rest anybody next week because Geelong wants that double. They want to be in the top four.
Mm.
So they'll be out to get a big win. And they played really well.
Is Dangerfield back next week, chat? Do you know, Andrew? I know.
No.
Chat, do you know if is Dangerfield penciled to come back next week? Because that could be a nice handy in for us.
Well, for us it would be if he's in because he's very slow. I think he's playing.
No, I mean that in a that will make the margin even bigger.
Yeah,
I think that will make the margin bigger.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think Geelong's gone past Dangerfield. Personally, I think they're playing better. I think their future could be better without him. Not better. If Dangerfield's 100% fit and that on his game, he's there. But he's been carrying that injury or those injuries all year, so they're managing him. And I don't think he's anywhere near as danger. He could be,
that bar. Speaking of bars, ours is very low. The Dangerfield bar alone is through the bloody roof. So even on one leg, I think a Danger is still pretty influential. But Tigers have St Kilda the following week. So you're right, Andrew. They have Adelaide next week. They've got St Kilda the following week, who will be fighting tooth and nail for finals, and then they have the Cats themselves down at Geelong. So,
do you reckon we'll beat Port Adelaide?
For a
last
chance.
game?
But I'm pretty impressed with how Port Adelaide's gone this year.
Yeah, well, they're not bad. Well, yeah, they do. No, I think we can roll them. I think we can roll in the last game because their captain's not playing. They're not captain, or captain and their guys leaving. They're the ones going to Footscray. He's not playing.
Yeah,
Butters, he's not playing. So he's going. He won't. I don't think he'll play. I don't think they'll play him in the last game, or we won't be fit. So yeah, I'll give us a 50-50 chance. I'll go to the TAB and put 50 cents on them.
That will be a pick one game. It really will. We'll be playing for pick one or not, and it might not matter because they, essentially a win is better than pick one, but if they are set that we don't want Harry Van Hadden, then there should be no worries.
I think we need to go for the three of them. I think we need to go for Hadden, Butler, and we also need to go for Shearer, that funny name chap. I think we need to go for three. We need someone within the club sit down and work out a strategy to grab the three of them. Now, I don't know how you can do that. Well, I know. I know. No. It might be silly. It might be a silly way of thinking, but there are formulas whereby you can actually, if we get that first pick and we get enough draft picks, some clubs don't need a midfielder. Don't need midfielders. Okay, like I don't know if Richmond needs a ruckman. Okay, they don't need more midfielders. Who's under us? Port Adelaide. They might get someone from. They might decide. They want some other player. They probably do need midfielders. So, but if we can get a couple of if we can work out a way to actually secure those early picks and get 3 picks in the top 10, and then things fall in our way, then you never know. You just never know. But that should be the strategy.
That would be a stretch, Andrew. But yeah, I mean, look, putting it all out there to the universe, we'll get some quality at the end of first round as well. So we'll see how we go.
And Jackson Artemis is a very good player.
Delightful.
He's going to be once you get him another pre-season, a proper pre-season in the off season, I think he'll come back even bigger and better. So look, I don't know. Look, maybe it was a ridiculous suggestion of mine trying to get 3 of those picks, but we definitely then we need defenders as well. So I don't know what we're going to do. Like Merritt, I thought had an average game today again, average would be, just enough.
It's funny because you and I were at the ground and I thought he was very, very average, aside from a beautiful smother, a lovely rundown tackle, but outside of that, average. But I have friends who were at home watching and they were putting in group texts and saying that he was very good. So I don't know.
Well, maybe look, he got Look, thing is, he gets the disposals. He'll rack up 30 disposals a game or 25 plus disposals. But what does he do with them, and how does he damage sides, and how much does he get other players into the game? Yes, some hit, some don't. He does those little chip kicks. Gathers the stats. They look very good. There's no doubt he deserves his spot in the side. He's in our top 5 or 6 players. But in relation to where he has been or could be, and again, he was the last player running out on the ground. Did you see him run on the ground last, or in the pre-match stuff? And I'm not sure he was at the but I don't want to go too far with him. Look, I wish him the best.
Yep.
And I hope that we can get a good trade for him. And
that's what the focus should be now, Andrew.
Prior on, look, we got smashed across that with Rankin. That Rankin, when I looked at Rankin, Rochelle, a few of the other players from the Crows doing really well. We need some Crows supporters, and they were crowing. That's they were going on and on and on. And
so were we.
Well, I was going off as well. But the thing is that I don't think the Crows are in any premiership contention. That's my feeling. I don't think they're good enough. Looking at them, I don't. They got some really major problems in their back line. And I don't think they'll get away with the non-pressure in their forward line with good sides. I think they'll get a lot more pressure going through the other way. So I don't think it's out of. I still think Fremantle, are the team to beat. But anyway.
Yep, I agree, Andrew. Fremantle and Brisbane, I think.
Carlton had a fantastic game yesterday, didn't they?
They did, but I still think Brisbane will be there. All right, Andrew. Great insight as usual. We'll see what next week brings. I don't think it's going to be as pretty as this one, so I'm going to enjoy the feeling.
Are you going down, Tom? Are you going down?
I'm not. No, I'm not going down to that hellhole. No, nothing against the ground, but I need to make it back for you guys. So no.
Yeah, I'll be going myself this time. We normally go, and we all normally have a. We normally stay down the weekend, and but we're not going to do it this year. But
Fair enough. I don't blame you.
We've had enough. I've got enough bruises and sore spots. I don't need any more. Okay.
More than fair enough, Andrew. All right. Have a good night. See ya.
You too.
Bye. A couple. Hello, Langy, Turtle Boy. I don't mind this, but for a defender, don't know if he would want to come to a team that's in rebuild mode, but I wouldn't mind it if we want a ready-made. I'd be asking the question for sure. Brooke, how good? Maybe that's why I feel so untainted right now, and I feel happy because my boys both barely put a foot wrong. They couldn't have done much more, so happy days. All right, let's have a chat to Scooter.
Hello, how are you?
Not too bad. How are you? I'm good. Are you?
Yeah, long time no see.
Very long time no see. We went on an adventure yesterday, and it was maybe that's why I feel also well as well, because watching what are they, 17, under 17s, under 16s, what are they?
Under 18.
Under 18s, okay. It was fun. It was calm and just delightful, like VFL 2.0.
Yes, it is. We are watching Kobe Buick and Justice and all these guys playing so well. It's like, and by the way, for the audience, I am hearing Buick's fine. He's just a corky.
Oh, that's wonderful. Maybe that's why he said, "No, I'm fine" at the end. That's wonderful. For everybody who we're talking in code, Scooter and I went down to Craigieburn to Highgate to watch the Calder Cannons play the Eastern Rangers. So we got to watch, obviously, our NGA boys, but also a couple of the other guys in the draft in Jordan Knapp and is it Chapman? Who's the other one?
Yeah, Harrison Chapman.
Chapman playing for Eastern Rangers. And it was a beautiful, beautiful day. All of our NGA and father sons just lit shit up. But by the end of the game, Kobe Buick had ice on his quad. And yes, we know that he's in next year's draft. So in isolation, it doesn't mean much. But safe to say that he's had a frustrating year with injury, right, Scooter? So we were just a little gutted for him because he smacked the ground when they told him he wasn't playing anymore. So it clearly still, means a lot for him to be out there, which is great emotion.
Yeah, so it's nice that it's not a serious injury, and they actually have a bye this week, so probably means that actually he won't even miss a game. So
good, they've got two left, just like our VFL. Yeah,
exactly. So, but look, I was thinking of you with Righty going nuts. I thought this is going to be the 72-point loss that Fiona's just like, yay.
This definitely feels more like a win for me personally, rather than a loss.
Yeah, it's just like someone you put you in a bath of Twix and it was just you're in happy land.
The Twix. Oh, Pommy's not going to know what's coming.
If there's ever a 5.5 Twix, this is coming. This is the one.
I think there'll be no arguments.
No. So look, it's funny, like when you actually look at the team stats, like disposals and inside 50s, contested footy, tackles, they're actually close to even. They're narrowly ahead. But yeah, I didn't think. I actually thought we came to play, but boy, our skills and our physiques over the ground. That was the big thing for me. Is just when you do have that 14 guys under kind of 45 games played, you can see it over the ground, and just Thilthorpe looked like he was 8'5" for the most of the game compared to us. Just the physiques were just so paralyzing, and it gives some good, I guess, hopefully momentum for a Reed. Okay, get into the gym again, get stronger, and that's what everyone will do. Right? Hazy's going to be a really critical player to get right, isn't he? I was thinking this the whole game. Like, gee, because he actually, strangely, is very strong because of the knee back-to-back kind of scenario. He's done so much gym that he's very, very strong now on his shoulders. So he's going to be a big player for us if we can get him right.
And he's actually has quite broad shoulders. So now that he's put on some muscle on those broad shoulders, I mean, you do have to kind of hold your ground through your hips and your pelvis and your kind of glutes. So you just hope that he's been able to put on some strength and build some strength back. I know he's been in Europe, so I'm sure he's having a bit of a mental cleanse, which has been good for him, and for him to come back. He'll come back and he'll have a preseason that starts earlier than the first years. The first year is who come back. So I suspect that Fiorini, Martin and him will have all been, gearing up to start preseason much earlier. Yeah,
exactly. And all be very important for us all three. I really liked, look, I know I've probably missed the first 40 minutes or so, but I'm assuming his name's mentioned, but I really liked Artemis obviously today. That was by far his best game. I think he had like 6 intercepts as well with the 20 disposals. So really good signs from him in his 3rd game. So that was really positive. I thought Sharpie 26. I think he had 26 pressure acts, led the side. So he continues to just be a workhorse. I am on the side of, I thought Merritt had a good game, by the way.
Okay, yeah. Okay, but you watch at home. So what did I miss? That was glaring watching from home? Because, when you're at the game, there's so much happening, so much sensory overload that you can misinterpret some guys.
Yeah, like just for me, it's stoppages and that. I think he had 6 or 7 clearances. I just thought he was competing really hard. I just thought his body language in stoppages and that I could detect he was trying what he could. With his 28 disposals, he had 50% of that was contested, which is not normally his side. So I actually thought he had a good mentality to be contested, hard at it. He doesn't normally even get 6 or 7 clearances. It's not his game. So I just thought he tried what he could to be physical. He's not obviously. I'm not saying he was BOG. I mean, or anything like that. But I just thought he had a good game. Like it was one where I thought, Wright's obviously easily the BOG. But it was really Sharpie, Durham, Merritt. Caddy and Kako were well off today.
Tommy, how are you, Tommy? Hope you're well. Yes, it was manic. So was his ball use. Like, I don't know. There's nothing pretty about his kicking or handballing, but it's effective. It's very effective, Scooter.
Well, I don't know if anyone else felt it, but like 5-10 minutes into the first quarter, as the game started, I immediately I had a few guys watching. I went, something's up with Caddy today. Something's up. I don't know what it is, but something's up. And I just felt him mentally off very quickly in the game. About 3 contests in a row. I just felt like, oh no, something's wrong. And I'm not sure if there's something going on or I didn't feel like he was mentally in this game at all. And probably a little bit Kako as well. He was running to the wrong spots. He is kind of down on form. And I see it that way. I'm a little bit different to how others review it. I think he's a very good player. There's going to be a very good player, but I just genuinely believe he's down on form. And so it just wasn't clicking. But thankfully, Huss is really coming along well and helping us out big time as that small forward. He's really growing the year. And I showed you this, Fiona, but if anyone wants to watch a replay, as the players go through the banner.
Oh my God.
I'll have to post this on. Let me
see if I can get it up. I'll see. Well, you tell the story. I'll see if I can get it because I think it needs to be. Yeah. It needs to be seen.
The theme song's playing. See the Bombers fly up as they run through the banner, and he's running through the banner, out singing the song out loud. The whole it's going like he's running through the banner. Fly up. He's like singing away.
Oh, with gusto. It was with gusto.
Yeah. I was like, it was like when they have like a 12-year-old child that goes through with the players, or, one of the players' kids or something, and it was us. It was very funny to watch. So God bless him. So it was amusing to watch. But tell me if you get the vision, because
okay, hang on. Oh, sorry. 1 second, everybody. I'm going to send it to send it to the computer. 1 second. It's just, I think he's just like the unconditional comfort to just be himself is a beautiful thing. Whilst I'm doing this, Andrew, thank you for the 10. How about we answer this question? Scooter, could we look at trading pick 1 for 2 to the Tigers to secure the pick for Justice? Maybe let us slip to Cal how much we like Harry Van Haddam. Caveat that by saying only if Harry's not our guy. So quickly, the reason why it's a no
is because of the new rule set out in the draft. So if you trade your pick and you're in that top 5 and you trade your first round pick, you lose the right to get a compensation pick when someone bids in the top 5. So Essendon will keep that pick because they will want pick 19 or that is an automatic pick for them as soon as they bid on Cochrane or Walker. So as soon as they get it, they have pick 1, then we'll go to pick 2, and then we automatically get pick 19 like that. And actually, because of Port Adelaide and Carlton having to use 2 first round picks each, it actually, that end of first round pick will actually maybe be around about 17. Or so it's too valuable a pick that they're going to give up to trade to the Tigers. So as far as pick 1 and who they may pick, look, I think the Justice one, by the way, Cal Toomey mentioned yesterday that Essendon may even ask for a first round pick and Hawthorn's 2 second round picks, which they have. So Hawthorn have pick 16, 26 and 31. Now, why that may be important to Essendon is that 31 probably could be Blake Justice then. If they get the second of the second round picks, that's probably where they're thinking. So I wouldn't be surprised if that actually eventuates. So it'll be interesting. Who knows how much we're into Harry Van Adam. I'm not too fussed who we pick up myself. I like Butler, I like Teixeira, and I like Van Hadam, and each one has a unique, different thing of why they would add value to the side. So I'm not fussed either way.
Yeah, I said earlier, Scoot, that for us, we need all the holes plugged. So all 3 players will fill a hole for us, but I think it's clear that Richmond need the ruckman. So if we decide that we don't want the ruckman, then we could potentially try and offload pick 1 for a really good deal, because we kind of know that they're going to take it.
Yeah, I mean the deal has to be something that's
extraordinary.
Extraordinary, because we're going to lose that pick 18. So that it has to be
amazing.
3, 5, and 8 kind of thing,
But exactly. But Tigers, like, if they don't end up getting, if they don't get Butters, or if they have assets that they want to offload because they are desperate to get Harry Van Hadam, because it's a bigger need for them than it is for sort of us, because we have Brian and Vigo. Even though Harry is a unicorn, it's less of a need for us than for them. They might offer something out of this world. Who knows? All right, I've got the vision. Yeah. Everybody ready? All right. Let me see if I can make this big. Oh, there we go. All right, here we go. I'm sorry, but is that not just inherent joy, just loving your life?
And a bit,
it's just loving life.
When you hear, when you watch it on the replay and you hear the audio and stereo, he's actually singing along to the words. It's so funny.
It's just joy. Do you know what I mean? Just loving, no matter you're losing 70 points, but I'm living my dream. I'm living my dream. It's just joyful. And we're going to invite all the joy in that's available right now. I'm going to ask you the question I've asked pretty much everyone. How do you see Andy McGrath's game?
Yeah. Ooh, rough. Look, there's one thing for me is one thing that we're going to have to work out with our new coach, right, is and this is a little bit in defense of Andy, right? And maybe a little bit in defense of a few other guys down there. A bit more Artemis as well, maybe Roberts, that the really good sides know their halfbacks and know their strengths. So when Andy grabs the ball, everyone should know 9 out of 10 times he's running on, he's playing on, he's taking the game on. But we don't react to that as a side yet. and where a Hawthorn, Scrimshaw, or Weddle or whatever, they run off halfback. They're already understanding the player. They're already proactively moving into different areas of the ground where both players know how to read each other, and we're not. So in sometimes the defense of McGrath, what's happening up the field also is a really big issue because we're so reactive. We're so slow to react. And the amount of times Farrow or Artemis wanted to push or looked up and it was very stationary up the field, it's just something they're going to have to work on, because to have that elite fitness, to have constant movement, constant spread, and I think we've got the fitness, but for some reason we're just not getting into that psyche yet. We don't know where to run. We're not showing where to spread, and there's just no cohesion as yet. It's like, I was going to talk to you about this, and the one thing I love Solly, but one thing I have been slightly frustrated with, I'll be very blunt, is the amount of changes around the field, and I still feel like for me anyway, we're a club that needs to settle a bit. Like, we need to find like 90% of the guys in regular spots in regular game, because we lack so much cohesion. So for me, when I saw Redmond in the midfield, right, doing a run with roll, it trying to go with Dawson. Obviously, Dawson was basically best on ground a quarter time. It didn't work. But like, I know people say, oh, you try these things when you're not losing. But my view is we've tried this. We've tried so many things this last 12, 18 months. I actually think we need to try and get cohesion. I actually think we need to try and go, well, where's our spots? Who are our guys? Even if it's the young guys, but where do we want them to play? How do we build cohesion? Because I feel like we're mixing and matching so much that we just can't find a cohesive ball movement. And I just generally feel like we need to settle down as a side and start getting guys in their strength and positions. You can move one or two guys. I have no issue with that. But I just think we're moving a little bit too much each week at the moment. That's my personal view.
No, I think there's definite merit in that. The only thing I would say is we've moved the senior guys, and is that because they're not in form? So Langford is in no man's world in the forward line. So put him down back. Well, he looks like a different player down there with the game ahead of him. So I'm happy. Like today, how many centre bounces? It was Kondo on one wing, Farrow on the other. Is Kondo lighting shit up right now? He's not. But they still were on the wing. They still were the wing pair.
Yeah.
Jackson Pryor's the other one who we're shifting. Mackay, we're shifting. So we're not shifting really the young players, but I do take your point in that, they probably need to settle it down at some point, because that synergy piece is important.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. I guess it's just something I've been thinking about. Just, it's just at some point next year, we're going to have to, obviously we go to the draft again. We're going to have to start working out who's the team, what is the group coming through, and start playing this group, getting to know them, understand each other. Who are the senior players that do cut it, and we play them? Yep. Who are the senior players that don't cut it?
Question for you: How many of the senior players outside of Merritt, because that's obvious, how many of the senior players playing tonight are playing round one next year?
Well, it was a young team tonight.
Question without notice. Yeah, actually, now that I say that, there wasn't many of them in there, were there?
Yeah, because Peter Wright will, Langford will, Setterfield probably won't, but maybe depth. There's not much. Redmond. Yeah, probably. He's probably playing. Pryor 50-50, depending on draft. I would like us to personally pick up Jeremy Howell for a year. That's my personal view. I think that would be a really good asset to have if we can get him across.
Is Void still in here, or Chris from Collingwood? Did the reports? I saw a report saying he may have broken his leg. Did that happen? No. Or was that
He
a
broke
rumor?
his he did
Or
he did do it, mate. His arm.
He broke his
Yeah.
arm. Oh, okay. Yeah, shame.
Tibia.
So,
or something like that. Yeah.
so if they make finals, he's out. Yeah,
He's probably pretty much out. Unless some metal plate or whatever, but I doubt it. But yeah, I mean McGrath. I mean he's the captain, so you would hope. I mean, Durham will play.
Yep.
You would hope Caldwell plays next year. That the USBC the Caldwell of what we know he can be. I think Fiorini plays round 1 next year.
Obviously Martin. No.
Yes, very true. But yeah, it's not a
Minor arm fracture. So what does that mean? Good to go for finals or not quite that rate of healing ability?
Yeah.
If he retires, that would be sad for him to go out that way, wouldn't it?
Already had his operation.
Oh.
Okay. Thanks, Void.
Okay. Thanks, Woody.
I
We need to grab
and then
at
they have
least
a
one
bye
of
to
them.
the finals. Yeah. So still a month till finals. So he's got to touch and go.
We need at least one of them, don't we? We need to get at least one senior player retiring, whether that's Sidebottom, Pendlebury, Howe. Dangerfield is obviously signed. He's going to sign with Geelong for a year, but Toby Green's obviously going to Geelong. But we need at least one of them. We do. We need to lock in at least one. I don't know who or where or how we're going to make it happen, how we're going to convince them. Money
and
talks.
Look, the other option is if the AFL do give us the assistance package, which would involve maybe a couple of extra rookie spots, you may want to look at a mid-20 Sellers in the VFL, who's obviously a very, very strong boy. You may want to have a Kalparkas in the Essendon VFL as well. There's some really good defenders in the Essendon VFL, so you may want to put one of those on the extra list as well. But there's a bit of work to do. There's a lot of work to do at our club.
Before we let you go, the Merit, you did a podcast with Cal Toomey last week. I want to talk a bit about the Merit deal. What is it realistically looking like we are going to be able to squeeze out of the Hawks?
Yeah, I mean, I think you may be able to squeeze a first rounder, second rounder, and then you're trying to work out anything on top of that, maybe. I'd love to get 2 second rounders. Look, personally, I'd love I would think Essendon will be cheeky enough to ask for 2 first round picks. And the reason why they may do that is that the 2027 pick obviously will be pushed back. So they may say, Hawks, you're getting Merit. You're probably going to make the grand final or be top 4. Your pick's going to get pushed out into the 20s. So 2 first round picks helps us because of Kobe Buick for next year. But for you, it is as close to a second round pick as normal. So I reckon Essendon's going to approach it that way to try and get that kind of deal. If not, they may go the first and 2 seconds. But in the end, they may, some people believe will be a first and a second. So thanks, Benz, for your contribution.
Thank you, Ben. I love you. We love you. Thank you for giving me more engagement and probably made money from that. So thank you. Welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
How do your parents?
Yeah. My initial reaction to that is, well, that sucks because, he's probably we could get more from another club. That's what I would think.
Probably. Look, if it ended up being the 2 first, if we took that, I would be fine. If someone told me that Merit equals pick 16 this year, and knowing the kind of players that are in that range that we could get, if someone told me, I'll give you an example. If someone told me Merit's going to cost you Buick and Krasner, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair.
and I just move on.
Yeah.
So I think the two first would be my ideal.
He's still in contract, so we still are in our rights to say the highest bidder. I know he wants to go to Hawks. I do, but I don't know. Like if Melbourne are going to offer more, Geelong, I know they probably won't, but Geelong won't. Melbourne might.
Yeah, that's. I mean, obviously Geelong were after him, but I think that Hawthorn one's been done, and I'm pretty sure that Essendon and Hawthorn have had all year to talk. I'm sure they've had they've had the talks.
Okay, well, what about players? Any players from that caught your eye in the Box Hill match last week?
Oh, look, there's no doubt you would ask the question about Deer. There's no doubt. I think Deer's a very good player that that could really show something and really add to your forward line. So yeah, look. So if it sounds like they're going to get Ben King. Sounds like that's kind of getting across the line now. So that puts Deer in a really tough spot, which is tough for him because you got to remember his dad is a very famous Hawthorn player. So this is not easy for him. So it won't be as easy as others may think to just grab him because he's kind of his surname's a bit of a fabric of Hawthorn. So
I don't think we need forward depth though.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I think it's what's his name, Raz. That's the other one, but he's getting a bit too good too quickly. So for our liking, so they're probably in the view that now they're going to keep him.
Good question, Trish. I don't think.
Well, I mean, they do. I mean, he's not a big defender, but obviously a lot of people have said Scrimshaw may be up for grabs.
Oh, yes, that's one. Yeah, he's not a biggie, but he would be gettable. Yeah, if that's gettable. The way they wanted to go. Yeah. And what's the other guy that everyone's talking about from Hawthorn? You'll know exactly. Oh, God.
Not Huswaite.
No. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anybody? Chat is it's on the tip of my tongue. I read it the other day.
Was it Butler? What's his name?
Yeah, I think you know exactly. Not Kalshadia. It's not Huswaite. And now we are just beware that I'm locked in on this now, and now we have to work it out before I can let Scooter go and move on to the next person. I have to work out who this player is. Sam Butler. Yes. Okay. So you were right. Yeah, you're right the first time. Sorry, you didn't ring. I needed the Sam. Thank you, Papa Fish. Well done. I needed the Sam to make it click. Yeah. I've seen a few people happy with Sam Butler.
Yeah, kicked 3 goals on the weekend at 24 disposals. So he's 184 centimeters. Good. So yeah, there's definitely. And when Essendon were playing the Hawks in the VFL, I sat behind Forster Knight, Rosa, the whole recruitment, and there's iPads, there's notepads, there's
Did you just take a little peek?
So I really wanted to, but I thought that they probably know my face, and that might be a bit too obvious. So
that might be pushing the friendship. That might be pushing the friendship just a smidge. Yep.
Yeah, and next to them was Tim Roberts, and then I might get told off by the CEO, and I don't want to backhand it from the CEO.
Fair enough.
But yeah, they're definitely taking notice of both sides. So I reckon this deal will get done pretty smoothly. To where both, I mean, Hawthorn's going to feel pretty happy because they're probably going to get Stephen King. What did I say Stephen King?
Coach? They're going to get the coach.
Yeah, the
I think they're doing okay for coaches. Share the love. Don't be greedy. I think Sam Mitchell goes all right.
Yeah, they're going to get Ben King really without having to do for a trade pick. So they're going to do it more the free agency path. So I think if they said to themselves they're getting King and Merritt to the door, I think they're going to be pretty open to try and get our deal done. And then they're right to go. They'll feel like we're in grand final territory here. So I would push for 2 firsts. I don't think you're going to get anything past that. but I would push for 2 firsts, knowing the Tassie draft is a bit compensated.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. You're right, Ben. Sam Mitchell does suck, but you cannot argue with the results. And pains me to say it, he's genius. So until we become him, we just hate him from afar, but with jealousy in our minds. All right,
Now,
Scooter.
my final thought, quick final thought.
Of course.
What were you intrigued the whole match? This is my weird strategic mind about what Murray Davis is thinking in the whole time in the coach's box watching on.
Someone sent me some footage of him from, was it pre-match that they showed him in the rooms? And it did occur to me early on, just before the game, as I was sitting there watching the warm-up, and I thought, yeah, I wonder if he's just thinking in two minds here. Like, I think it would be hard for his mind to be 100% focused on the Crows in that moment, you know?
Yeah,
like, and not thinking, what if?
He's literally got, like, you would assume, this is maybe it's a wrong assumption, he's assumed he's down in Melbourne. There's a presentation this week. He's probably on Monday, right? He's probably going to stay in Melbourne because he's flying down.
Definitely.
And he's literally, the presentation's in front of his... So how would you not think of what Essendon are doing the whole game in some ways?
I would have imagined that Mark McVeigh would have been there tonight, if not watching it very closely at home. And I think both of those guys, safe to say, whilst in Melbourne, Monday, Tuesday, tomorrow or Tuesday, they're both going to be at the hangar in some capacity. I think that's very easy for us to assume. So I wonder, visiting Panda, wonder if it excites him or makes him get put off. Excite. Absolutely. If you're watching a 2-meter big ginger kick 6 snags, and then you go to your left and you see Dyson Sharp just kicking bread loaves, and then you go down the other end and you see Jackson Artemis just playmaking his way through, just playmaking the shit out of this game, and then you see the very, introverted Jacob Farrow, but pure and silky and smooth, out on the wing, toys. In my eyes, anyway. I could be biased.
Well, a guy with 20 years experience, what he's seeing is okay, well, we're pretty much close to even on contested possession. We're even on disposals. We're fairly even on clearances. We're even on tackles. And yet we're a pretty experienced physical side. I've already done the scouting on Essendon. They're playing 14 guys, very, very young, a bunch of teenagers, inexperienced guys. So so for them to match us on quite a lot of core stats and just not have the polish of where we're at, or the physiques really, they've been enough in the gym to match it. That's where the common sense, he would go, I know exactly where this path is. I know why. I know where 3 preseasons gets me a lot of to this group, and getting a system under my belt. And so I think he would be okay with the numbers he's seeing and understanding of why we lost with the turnovers. Yeah,
I get the impression with this guy that he's seen it all. Like I said this to you yesterday. I get the impression this guy's he's seen it all. Because he has been in this position at Brisbane when I remember the narrative and the sentiment, listening on radio, going for walks and listening to the sentiment about Brisbane and how bad they were back how many years ago was it now? 10 years? Yeah, about that when they were on the bottom of the ladder. And there was I remember interviewing like Jonathan Brown, and he was doing the equivalent of Gary Lyon when Gary Lyon was talking about Melbourne before they won their premiership. That they were in no man's land. They had zero culture. They were dead.
No one wanted to go to Brisbane. Remember, no one wanted to go to Queensland.
That's right. They couldn't keep their players, and nobody would go there. I remember it. I don't know why I remember it. My brain remembers weird things. And then he's seen the rise now. And I think to myself, this guy has seen it all in real time, like in the throes of that battle, in the throes of that experience. He's seen it all. So in a way, I don't think he would be put off by this, because he's seen this. He's been in this.
No, that team is what we fielded tonight. I think Ian Hume said this from Stat, that it was basically an expansion team. It was basically Tasmania year 1 or 2. It was just a whole lot of whole lot of inexperienced players. So I wouldn't fret too much about tonight. You pick up the little wins, and you're getting games into guys, and you just get to the gym, work on a system with the new coach, and start develop cohesion, and hopefully you can, with Innes and everyone else, and adding 5 or 6 more very, very talented kids, you just start building something that's for the longer term, sustainable, that you're going to be top 6 on repeat. That's what you want to build in 4 or 5 years, really.
Yep, spot on. All right. Well, the waiting game continues while they do that, and we sit here impatiently waiting to find out who the coach is going to be, and nobody knowing an absolutely damn thing about anything. That continues for another 2 weeks at least. So, all right, Scooter, we'll wait and see what this week brings in the media, because we're always in there. So we'll see how we
Yes.
go, and we'll chat to you during the week.
All right. All the best.
Good night.
See ya.
We love Scooter. We love Scooter. We could talk for hours and hours, and we do, but we could do that live. We should just set it live and just talk about football, and you guys can just come and go as you please. All right, let's have a chat to Charlie.
Clinton. Hey,
Hey, Charlie.
how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. I'll actually show you what we're doing right now. So,
Hello, Sophie. Oh, do you want to? I've got a basket full of stuff. Can I send that over too?
No,
Well-
I'm not. I'm actually doing
so
some numbers.
I bought yellow numbers the other
Yep.
week because I needed something to remember that game by, the GWS game. So now
Oh.
we're currently in the process of putting yellow numbers 22.
Wait.
Well,
Wait.
Mum is currently in the process of putting those numbers on the back because
Fiona-
Bit of a
Charlie was
DIY.
exactly
Yep.
exactly right.
Love your
Charlie.
work, Sophie. Well done.
Today.
I'm still a little bit starstruck actually. I saw a celebrity at the game today.
Did you? Who?
Yeah. You. Fiona
Oh.
Bomber Banter. It was crazy. I was completely starstruck.
Oh, wow. I mean, I should be saying crazy. You're the second Bomber Banter subscriber who I've run into. No, actually, I've run into heaps more. And people come up and say hi all the time. But you are a regular on the fan cams. So, yeah, it was just as delightful for me.
Yeah, how cool. But aside from that, there was the game today that we have to talk
Yeah,
about,
let's pull that
unfortunately.
out. Thanks.
Well, it was worse. We've been in worse places, haven't we? Hey, Clinton.
We have.
Hello.
We have.
Hi.
But yeah, look, I think I was saying to Clinton today that for 3/4 of that game, all I was watching was James Balllace and how much of a perfect Ridley replacement he would be. And then he got subbed out at the end. And that was pretty much the he is 100% who we should be hitting for the trade season, I think.
And it fits in because did he get injured? So,
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
This question, was there any entourage at the time?
Yes, there was. You had your little entourage around you.
Always.
Yeah, exactly.
I pay them
Guys,
with
pretty
love
tough.
and
know.
compliments. They just follow me
Yeah.
around.
I know. It was crazy. It was like 5 security guards that were all just following you. It was like I had to really weasel my way through to say hello.
Yeah, you had to yell through.
exactly.
Yeah, no, obviously, no, we're being facetious. I could hear the dollar. I was like, I recognize that voice. Who's talking at me here? I know that
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you'd have to do is just throw a few hot chips at me. If you can't get my attention, just throw me some chips. I'm
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a seagull. I'll find them from anywhere.
Well, there's
Yeah.
no Twix there to be
No
sold,
Twix.
so we can't throw it in.
No
We'll have
Twix.
to carry them.
Do you know, I actually, when I may or may not have had a couple of wines one time and went downstairs to get some soak up food, and I may or may not have had a discussion with the poor checkout Marvel Stadium attendant who has no control over what confectionery gets stocked at Marvel Stadium, and I may have had a lengthy discussion about why there was no Twix for me to buy.
I mean, fair enough.
I've seen better days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that today? Actually, they had all members got 50% off food at every Marvel Stadium thing. So they didn't tell us that though. They didn't tell us that because I went and got there and they were like, "Oh, are you a member?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Great, you get 50% off today." Why did they not tell us that before the game?
But it's a self-serve. I didn't get 50% off my
No,
chips
no.
because I had to self-serve
Yeah,
myself.
True. We the one that where we were at was the
Coffee colour came off.
That's fine. The one we were at was it was like a counter person, and they were like, "Are you a Bombers member?" And we were like, "Yes," but they didn't tell us.
I didn't realize that there were any counter people left.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
There's a few. Aisle 31. That's
Obviously, in the section where you sit,
No.
you don't have them.
no.
I clearly don't, and now I'm a bit upset that I didn't get my half-price chips when it's already. That's the
know.
price that they should be. It's already. I should be getting
Exactly
those every
right.
week because it's already inflated.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed to tell us that. That's
I know.
ridiculous.
Yeah, got a there was this place upstairs that is literally worth going upstairs to get. Little Ligon, there's this chicken schnitzel sandwich. It's the best. It is. Doesn't
So level
taste like
2?
Level 3.
Oh, level 3.
Yeah, it's so
Okay.
good. It's so good.
Okay.
Anyways, back to
All right.
footy.
Back to footy. I mean, I'm happy to stay on the chips anytime.
Exactly,
Chips and Twix.
exactly.
Happy days.
Oh, I love
Come-
chips.
Yeah.
This is
Oh, good.
This is working, Charlie.
Oh, great. The numbers are working, which is.
So
great.
hang on, back to the numbers.
Okay.
What kind of numbers did you buy?
I got
Okay.
22.
Yeah, but what material is it? Beautiful.
It's the official AFL ones.
Oh, you actually bought the official ones. Oh, I thought you DIY'd them too.
No,
Okay.
no. Yeah, it's the official AFL ones that were just on a website, like a clearance website. And
It was either that or bid for the jumpers.
well, I did do that as well.
So this
I
is
still
a
need to
cheaper
pick
one.
them up.
One
So
one.
I did.
I mean, I think Chris nails it. I got the message about meeting the players too.
Anyways,
I
sorry,
would have
what?
preferred the hot chip information as well, rather than
I know.
the text message.
Exactly, and we went past the victory room on the way in, and not
How many did he win?
yeah.
Nobody there?
Well, there was, but it was not. In all due respect, it was the players that haven't really played much this season, and
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh,
hey, no,
Wasn't
it was Cal Durine, Liam McMahon,
Harry Jones.
Gresham.
yeah, Gresham was there, and I think Nick Cox was there, so that was but we didn't I just walked past, but so I think a good day overall, but just not a
They tried.
They did.
They tried.
They did.
They had their heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
Definitely. But,
Yeah. I think I had this discussion the
Gosh.
other day, and it was like, is it worth tanking? And I genuinely think that there's no point in tanking because if we go out and play, we're probably going to lose at the moment. So there's no point in going into a game thinking, let's lose this, instead of going into a game thinking, let's win this. And then if by the off chance we do win, great. Like the GWS game, great. But more likely than not, with how our team is at the moment, if we go in expecting and wanting a win, probably going to walk away with a loss, unfortunately. But that's
There's
just the
no
state we're
tanking.
at. So it's not worth tanking.
Yeah, we've discussed it earlier, but I mean, Tigers sort of took the worry out of our hands, but I also don't think it's worth it. I also think that having that attitude is like can be a contagious disease, and I don't think we should even hint at anything like that to the players within the four walls of the club. It shouldn't even be spoken about because it's a loser mindset. So
100%.
yeah.
I was.
What's your opinion on your guy then? Because we've had a lot of big mixed bag about Harry Jones. People are on the fence. People think he was shit. People think he was good. I'm on the fence. I think he did a lot of good 1%er type stuff. He came off his opponent a lot. And then he had a lot of shit stuff as well.
So I think that when he's not a defender, it's not his role. it's not where he's meant to be. He wasn't playing that well when he was there. But when, maybe third quarter onwards, he got moved to a wing role. That's where he was playing a lot better. That's where we saw him in 24 and 25 actually playing good football for the first consistent period of time in his career. He was playing consistently, and then obviously the injury happened that he couldn't play for the whole year. But before that, he was actually a really serviceable, good person on the wing. And then today we saw that in the second half. But yeah, there was a lot when he was playing as a defender. It's not his role. He's not a defender, and that's not who he is.
Certainly not a number 2 key defender is what he's not.
And,
on a big hunk of chunk, you know, matched up on a big boy. So,
well, I was
fair
saying
enough
as well, like, it's as soon as we sat down in our seats and I saw that Kyle Langford was lining up on Taylor Walker to start the game, you knew it was going to be a long afternoon, because we really are lacking in that key defender. Because, like, there's no reason that Kyle Langford should have to be playing on Taylor Walker. There's no world in which, there's no world in which he should have to do that role.
That's what he was brought into the club to help with the big guys. But for some reason he's not playing.
No, I just I think that Mum, it would have. Mum, okay.
I love the family dynamics. I live for these family dynamics. I love it.
I'm sure that everyone would have seen it because it's on the Essendon social page.
Okay, well, I just really like it. I think it's really cute.
Oh, cute. The hug.
Yeah, it's very cute. It is.
They are good boys. They are good boys.
Yeah, they are. They're kind. They're kind people. And like, I think that's one thing I hate about certain, shall I say, people within the Essendon fan community sometimes, how it can be very negative towards players, and that's not, what a fan of a club's meant to be. You can have criticism, and as long as it's fair and not harsh and not, there's a line, so, they're all good players, they're all good people, and they're all human at the end of the day,
Emotion is can be it's a beautiful thing, but dysregulated emotion can spill out when you get angry, and it can be projected onto, and a lot of people have pointed out in chat tonight, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. So we can whinge and moan and cry and be angry and sad, but at the end of the day, the results, we all have the one common goal. So the turning on each other, fans turning on each other is the part that makes me upset, because it's not often that so many people in one place have the one common goal and want the one thing, but we do. We just have we all have different ideas about how to get there. So we're in a very screwy, dark place right now. We're not bypassing or suppressing the reality. It's not accepting mediocrity. It's just acknowledging the reality of the situation.
Exactly right.
Totally.
And
before you go, what have you recently created?
So me with a few people from uni have recently created a new Essendon channel that we are hoping to get started. We're doing a first recording session on Friday. We're hoping to do a weekly sort of podcast sort of thing. We're going to start by doing a lot of off-season stuff now, getting the feel of it. And then by season 2027, we'll be doing a weekly sort of thing, recapping games. But so
On what?
on YouTube, we've already got a YouTube account, an Instagram account now. So would really appreciate if you guys gave it a look.
What's it called?
It's called, can I put in the chat? No. I'll put it in the chat. It's later. It's called Red and Black Radio.
Red and Black Radio. Go and give some love, the YouTube channel and the Instagram page, and I'm sure other socials in time. Who would we hear? This is obviously, we're going to hear you, Charlie, but who else is involved?
So another guy called Jasper, and him and I are going to be doing most, if not all, and then sort of a rolling bunch of people. Girl named Bronte is interested, another guy named Jacob, and just because schedules and stuff, because we're all in uni, so we'll do a sort of rolling panel. But yeah, so I'd really appreciate if you guys would give it a look. And yeah,
wonderful. Yes, absolutely. We will, when it's up and running, we will absolutely just plug the shit out of that. So no problem whatsoever. There is plenty of love and ears and taste for as many content creators in the environment and in the space as possible.
And
so well done, Troisky.
Yeah, thank you so much, Fiona, for being a very big inspiration for doing Essendon content and being an absolute pioneer of the Bombers space. We all love you here, Fiona. So thank you for being inspired.
I mean, that's very kind of you, but I'm more than happy to be the platform that others just pivot right off. Can't find it. Can't find it where, Jeremy, or is it on YouTube or is it red R-E-D and an N and then black, obviously.
And black radio.
Radio.
So there's an Instagram account that is there at the moment, but the YouTube account, because I don't think we haven't posted anything yet, so it's been hard to find.
Okay.
But yeah,
so, but it's just red and black radio. That's the @ on YouTube. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's no other letters or characters.
No.
Okay. Hang on.
Post.
Yeah.
One more plug. One more plug. Come on. Fiona's our friend. We support each other. Girl power.
Oh, almost spilled my tea. There we go.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
I'm sorry. I always with the shocking handwriting, but you get there. Found it. Okay, we're getting some fines. Amazing. All right. Well, we'll continue to plug it, and you continue creating because more voices, more the better. All right, guys.
Great. All right. Thank you so much. See ya.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
All righty. We have a couple of shout outs from downtown. Ben, we have been in a washing machine with you tonight, but I knew we would end up where we ended up. That's why I didn't just kick you out, put you in a timeout, because I knew we'd come around. Thank you so much for this generous donation. Much love. Ben says, here you go, Essendon fans. We don't enjoy this losing. No, we don't. Carlton are going too well. Hope this helps. Well, it helps me and it helps the channel and it helps everybody who enjoys the channel. So thank you, Ben. It's okay to let off some steam. We got you. I got you. I knew you were just letting off some steam. I knew you weren't a bad egg. That's why I just let you do you. And Moby, as always, thank you for being so generous. Shout your peeps some chips. I absolutely will. They work so hard keeping you away from your adoring public. Okay, next time I run into one of you, if I'm eating chips, I will certainly share. And that says a lot because there's one thing I love and there's one thing. I will share everything. I will share the clothes off my back. I really would. In fact, I have many times. But if I share chips with you, well, that's love. That's love. But thank you to you guys. And yes, Bomber Girl, I think, said it as well. And I said it. Please, if you're here, hit the like button and subscribe because all of that helps just as much. And more love, the better. All right, let's take her home as per. Hello, Noel.
G'day.
Why are you in the dark?
Why am I in the dark? Let me put some light on.
Yeah, please.
There we go.
That's better. Much better. Thank you.
Where's you bright now? Yeah. How are we? Surviving?
I'm great. How are you?
I won't be on the cam next week, so don't be disappointed.
Okay.
Because I've decided I'm not going to the Geelong game.
You are?
I'm not going. It's sold out anyway, apparently. It sold out months ago. I wonder how many people will actually show up after they've sold out.
Well, I think most would. Isn't that a sellout to the Geelong crowd because they know it's going to be a fun night at the football?
They know it's a walk in the park. Now we've got a poker night on, I think, on the next Saturday. So I'm probably just going to lose money one way or the other.
So you're not going to watch the game?
Oh, I'll watch the game while we're playing, I'm sure. But I'm going to go to the VFL because we play Collingwood on the Saturday.
I can't wait. Windy Hill, everybody get down to Windy Hill. We are fighting for the finals.
And the ladies
yeah.
start in 2 weeks as well.
Yes, AFLW. Yep.
AFLW. Yeah, the girls starting, so that'll be good. Yeah, so, well, I could say you can't be disappointed with the way we played. Disappointed with the result. But I think the boys, certainly the first quarter, they were on the, But I think the main problem was our forwards too far forward.
Oh, I thought they were a little jammed up. I thought Caddy got a little too jammed up in the goal square.
But I noticed Peter Wright starting to disperse them and make them come back a bit more. And because Sharp had a couple of kicks that went over the heads because he was expecting the ball, them to be in the right spot. So there was a few. So and I think it was pointed out on a couple of occasions that some of our forwards were too far forward. Kako didn't get a touch for nearly half a game. But El Haha, 2 goals. Yes, 2 goals, great. That second goal was amazing.
It's beautiful. Small forward, absolute.
We want small forward kicking goals, yes. Yeah, no, that was a great. We got the rub of the green for the umpiring, I have to say. We got some pretty low, but it was about time Peter Wright got a couple of free kicks, but they were very soft.
The 2 metre ones.
Some of the ones he hasn't got over the period of time, they were soft in comparison.
There was a bit of square up, but I'm you know why I'm comfortable with that, because there are so many for so many years and games where he just doesn't get them. I'm so comfortable if he gets a few softies.
I couldn't believe we got 4 holding the ball decisions in the first quarter. That was our full quota that we normally get per game.
Yeah, true.
But the tackle, we're playing. Yeah, it was kindergarten kids playing against monsters.
Yeah,
that's got it. Was that Tilt? Oh, geez, his shadow weighs 40 pounds.
It's Phil Thorpe. Okay.
Was it Phil Thorpe, isn't it?
Phil Thorpe.
Oh, Phil. Whatever.
Phil Thorpe.
His shadow weighs 40 pounds.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. You need a water bag and a compass to get around him. Get your Land Rover to drive around him. He's big. But then we kept Walker fairly quiet. Walker got a couple of opportunist goals. I thought his goals were, you're going to hit the lead. We got beaten by kids we'd never heard of.
The debutants.
2 debutants kicking. I don't think that's ever happened in the league for you. 2 debutants kicking a goal in the first game in the same game. And
really?
And then another fellow who got his first goal after 7 games. There was at least 4 players in the Crows team who were, what you want? Put pressure on your senior players, isn't it?
Wow.
You're not going to get dropped if you're getting 26 touches and kicking 3 goals. You're not going to get dropped, are you? So, but shout out to the Wicker. I thought the Wicker doesn't get the credit he deserved. I thought Johnson was okay. Johnson did some nice things.
Johnson was good.
I thought he was really good.
Very good. And Artemis, very good.
Artemis, I've not really seen a lot of Artemis. I haven't really focused on him too much. But he's got a little bit of I'm going to play on and I'm going to take the game on attitude, which you like. And Durham's game was all right. Durham was good in the midfield.
Had an almost game. So he was doing his natural burrowing through, effort after effort. I just think the distribution was a tiny bit off, but
Yeah. Is Katie getting kicking lessons? Because please, kick goals, Matt. If you're going to get 4 possessions, kick 4 goals. Make the most of the opportunity. You got a lucky goal at the end of the game. But really, he's being tag teamed by 4 blokes on him, and that doesn't help. Then don't kick it to him. If he's got 4 blokes on him, there's got to be at least 4 of our blokes who don't have anyone on him. Look for them. And several times, I think we just bombed the ball into the forward line, hoping that, and it was Peter Wright was the only one that was there taking the marks. What a game your boy had, eh? That move
6.
to Albert Park's done him a world of good.
Tell you what, the big ginger.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
had a good
happens when you
game.
take destiny into your own hands. And you don't let anything that is exterior to you dictate how you play and how you compose yourself and how you carry yourself throughout the weeks. You don't let the fact that maybe you're the last one in the film room watching edits and nobody else is, but you're the last one week after week. You just don't, and nobody else is there with you. He still does it anyway. Very impressed.
So Clark hurt his knee, bravely went back out again, and then got knocked out by his own teammate.
I know. When you say it like that. Oh.
Lucky Essendon, eh? We're so freaking lucky. We are the luckiest team in the world. You know, we'll get number 1 draft pick and he'll do his knee before he even gets to the ground in game. You know, I wouldn't mind Sam Butler, by the way. I know Sam. I know Sam and Dan. I know.
All right. Well, tell us a bit about Sam Butler from the Hawks.
He's got pretty good skills. His brother Dan was a premiership player with Richmond, and went to St Kilda. And I think Dan's probably at the end of his career. What's funny about them? And there's 4 brothers, and the other 2 brothers.
But can we get back on track and talk about Sam, because we want to know about Sam?
I think he's got some. He's a nuggety sort of little pacey guy. He's got a little bit of mongrel about him as well, which we need. But do we need another midfielder? I wouldn't mind him in there though. He's played a number of games with the Hawks. I remember how much he got paid for his first month. we saw the check. He showed us his check his first month at Hawthorn. He hadn't even got a game yet. He was still just on the training track. I go,
well, go on. How much? What was the check? Now that you've said it, what was it?
$1,100. 11 grand. 11.
You said 1,100. It was 1,100 or 11 grand.
Well, it's 11. Yeah, it was $11,000 for the first month.
All right, here we are. Sam Butler.
There he is.
He's 23, 184 centimeters.
Yeah, midfielder, isn't he?
Above, yes, midfield forward. He's a midfield forward at that size. Yeah, above average in tackling. Average kicks, average marks. He's played 7 games so far this year.
Hard nut. He's a bit of a hard nut. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure on his disposal, but he'll fit in perfectly at Essendon if he's got bad disposal. So,
okay.
I think his disposal's okay. He's pretty good. I know he's got the right attitude because Dan is a teetotaler, and so is Sam. They don't get onto the grog or, and they're very fitness conscious. So that's the right kind of attitude you want. You want a bloke who's going to set standards and set examples.
Absolutely.
But I think he's not getting a game at Hawthorn because they've got a lot of players similar to him. And if they want merit.
Well, I think they're the teams that you got to just go through the depth of. That's why going through the VFL of Geelong and Sydney and Brisbane, because if they're not getting games for the seniors, well, that's because they're behind a lot of quality. So,
And if you're gonna go after merit, then Butler's position is going to be probably even less chance of getting a game, isn't it?
Yeah, quite frankly, I have no idea who I'm watching here. What number is he? Does anybody else clocked him? I haven't even clocked him yet, so maybe this is just useless. Okay, all right. Well, we'll wait and see. He might be one that we.
I know the family. It's quite interesting that the older brothers are both plasterers and hard-working tradies, and Dan and Sam are the athletic sort of hard at it training. Dan's a really nice fella. I think he's probably at the end of his run at St Kilda now, but he's quite a nice fella. But enough of them. What did we? Artemis. I liked Artemis's game. I thought Day Wicks did some hard work. The guy he got bumped off that marking contest late, maybe it was third quarter, I think it was. 1-on-1.
He did.
But the guy who hit him came off worse. He was sitting there in the hands of the trainers 5 seconds later.
What did he do? Did anybody see a replay of that?
He bumped him, took the mark, knocked him, sort of ran into the shoulder. But he's come off second best. Jay Wicks just runs off. He's fine. And the Adelaide bloke's in the hands of the trainer. So he's a hard nut. Wicks, I think his nickname should be Hard Wicks, because he is a tough little. But aren't we all glad? Aren't we all just celebrating Damien Hardwick's failure? Don't we just love the man who cheats on his wife is having the baddest time of his life? Hardy ha. 10. They have not won a game since they beat us.
Geez, we think we're in the stink. Well, at least we're rebuilding.
Yeah. He had the perfect team for a premiership. Didn't he say that? He had his favourite toys. The best toys he could possibly have in his little Rolls Royce. Yeah, but yeah. So no, I think that's is what you call karma. But yeah, so
Karma is on her own schedule. You don't have to worry about Karma. She's on her own schedule. But I don't know. Like it's a really weird one because there's no discernible reason why they shouldn't be contending. Like
same with GWS. They're full of great talent. But sometimes a team of champions will be better than a champion team. A team of champions aren't going to be as good as a champion team. If you can work together as a team and be a champion, you've got all these individuals doing their own shit.
I just when I think of GWS, I just think of the trolling I got at the start of the year because the carry on from people saying, this is a real coach, Adam Kingsley, GWS play for, this is what it looks like when blokes play for the coach. And I kind of questioned the validity of that, such a, I don't know, matter-of-factly kind of statement and measure of how much a team is playing for the coach and how that's a little bit of a flimsy statement. And, oh, my God, the barrage back. And now they're going to miss finals. So, okay.
I think it's interesting too. You've got the Bomber reject final conundrum. So far, every team that's won a premiership's had an Essendon player in it.
Every team that's won a premiership?
In the last few flags that have been won, Brisbane have had Danaher. They had McKenna, and they had Draper now. So you go back to Hawks having, the Hawks have got an ex-Essendon player in there. Freo's got an ex-Essendon player in there. You want to play finals, put ex-Essendon players in there. We seem to be. We just get But would we be happy with Brendan Burke-Thatcher still being in the side? Would he get a game with
Thatcher? Is he playing for Port at the moment?
Yeah, he's had a couple of games. I think he played the other week.
Okay.
Because they've had so many injuries, they had to play him. Because
he's been every time I look, he's kind of injured, and I don't say that with any great joy because I really liked him. I thought we got him we made him into a player, and then he left. I always thought that about him.
Yeah, he just lacked that little. There's just that little bit that he just needed extra to make him a great quality defender. But you have a look at Fantasia. Didn't do much when he left. Fantasia was the bee's knees at Essendon there for ages, and then he went to Port Adelaide and he couldn't get on the park. So sometimes it's not always the case that they go elsewhere and become superstars. It's not always the case.
You're right. He did play last week. You're right, Noel. Brandon.
I think he played because they've had so many injuries that they got down. They've got down to scraping the bottom of the barrel and the dregs of their South Australian team. I reckon we can beat them in the last round.
Yeah.
Because I think either after the Geelong game or somewhere in that week, we'll know who our coach is. I reckon they're going to make the call within the next 2 weeks.
This could be an outlandish statement, and please nobody take me out of context, but I know there's been talk about the best coaches in the league, but is Josh Carr getting enough credit Because I thought Port were dead and buried. I thought they were going nowhere fast. Honestly, they have been competitive in almost every game this season. They've lost a lot of close ones, but they have been at a highly competitive level for a team that is no one like. There was lots of question marks around them. So I don't know. I just don't think Josh Carr is getting enough love. So this is my official love for you, love and light to you, Josh Carr, because you're doing a great job, I think.
And coach of the year's got to be the Melbourne coach, surely.
Stephen King, yeah.
Nobody expected Melbourne to be where they are on the ladder. No.
Yeah.
So I reckon if you're going to you don't give the coach of the year to the premiership coach, you give coach of the year to the coach who got the best out of his team. That's what I would think. And I think for what they lost Petrarca, they lost Oliver, they lost that other dude with the Dutch name that also disappeared. They had 4 or 5 really good players and May. So all these top players all disappeared. Yep. You thought Melbourne's going to be down the gurgler, and he's got the best out of them. Josh Fraser's got a lot out of Carlton, but the difference is he's giving them the license to just play the footy.
Yeah.
When you're an interim coach, you can get away with doing that. Our interim coach is working hard on our defence. If anything, Solomon's done reasonably well, is he has tried to give us some semblance of a defensive mechanism. And our back line, okay, they were outdone by a big side this week. But we've had some reasonably good defensive games. We just haven't been able to kick the goals down the other end to make that look a little bit better. And you have to get your defence right first before you get your rest of your team right.
Yeah, again, the bar is very low. I think we're defensively still very unsound and very leaky and very bad at defending transition. So
we could have done with May. We could have done with May this week.
Ever so slight improvement, maybe, but I'm not overly convinced. My eye test doesn't tell me that. The numbers may say different. Has an interim coach ever won coach of the year? Because I tell you what, Langy, you might have a point. For an interim coach to take a team that was, what were you, 2-9, 1-9, and then turn it into 9-2, like that is batshit. It is just absolutely batshit. And if Carlton play finals, tell you what, he's got to be in the conversation for sure.
The ex-Melbourne captain was on the radio and he made a point about coaches. He said about
Nathan Jones?
5 or 6 players will love the coach. There'll be 5 or 6 players who don't give a shit either way. And there'll be other coaches who don't like him. And that will always be the same, no matter what. Because I think I should be getting a game. Why is that prick getting a game? I don't like the coach. That's the sort of attitude that can come about. So it doesn't matter who the coach is. It always happens that there'll be blokes who will love him, think he's fantastic. There was a lot of blokes at Essendon loved Brad Scott, thought he was great. Right? Others couldn't care either way. And others, you probably catered his guts, he wasn't giving them a game. So to get your players like Josh Fraser's done to all work together says a lot about how much they like him as a player, as a coach, or is it the fact that he is allowing them to enjoy their football and just play the game? Because you can see it, as we said, we see one of our blokes coming out singing the song. He wants to be there. He's loving his time there. He's an Essendon fan who's playing for his team that he barracked for, And that's the joy you need to get from your coach. That's the joy you need to get from the people around you. And that is part of a big
part of that. I think a big chunk of that also comes from the leaders as well, because the leaders spend the most time with these guys in the locker rooms, at training, on the field, like close. They go out together. Like if that bond is not there, there's nothing good can come of it. So it's a testament to Carlton's leaders as well, on-field leaders. Patrick Cripps obviously leading it from the front, but I think it's gonna. I think it. Just like with any workplace, I mean, I am my own boss, so it's been a while 10 years since I've worked for somebody else in a workplace. But I would imagine that it's like any workplace.
Yeah.
Some people just get along better personality-wise with leadership and with hierarchy than others, because personalities clash and some people see eye to eye and others don't. And then, no, you're right. Like you add in players who are not getting games, who might feel a little bit shafted. And then, there's so many different elements and everything just has to be humming perfectly to win a flag. It's so hard.
And also, if you're injured all the time, what's this coach doing? Why is he not training me right? Am I not getting the right, doing the right thing? There's lots of elements, and a player like your Tilthorpe, or whatever his name is, he plays on confidence, right? He's a confidence player. He kicks his first goal, bang! I'm confident now, and that's the same with the Mackays. It's the same with quite a lot of those big blokes. Get your first goal, you feel good about yourself. Now I'm fired up and ready to go. And it only takes a drop mark or a non-free kick, and suddenly your confidence is dropped and you're out of the game again. We watched the Calder Cannons boys, the under 18s yesterday, as we said, right, with Scooter and I. And Buick kicks this goal, and Darwish and Blake Justice, they're just literally they're chest pumping each other, they're smacking each other, the excitement, the happiness and joy for one another's success. It's just, and then today I watched like Angus Clark's first goal, and I watched the same kind of thing, Johnson and Sharp and Farrow kind of reacting that way, and it reminded me of yesterday, just that kind of the unfiltered, just inherent joy for where you are and what you're doing and with the guys that you're with. And our senior players don't hum to that same tune. Yeah. It's just not like that. The young boys haven't been tainted yet. They're still loving the game. They're still loving being part of a club. They're still loving being, they haven't been ruined yet. And that's the same with the young fellas playing. Oh, this is, I'm playing with my mates. I'm having fun. It's great. And kicking a couple of goals, all that sort of stuff. But then you get into clubland and you go through the meetings and you've got to go through all the stuff that they go through, hour upon hour of all this video that they have to watch about their opponents and all that. That's where they can, you start to lose your love for the match, for playing footy. It becomes a job. It becomes a chore, and that's what we're not.
It gets all too serious. It gets all a bit too serious, and you only have to look. And the way that you can see the evidence of that is you look at the younger players and you look how they are. And I think some of the senior players, like psychologically, they have to allow themselves to be open to being washed by that unfiltered joy of the younger players. And I think a guy like 2 Meter Peter, a guy like Xavier Dersma, before his year ended, those guys, even a bit of Langford, just have allowed themselves to be open to being washed by some of that and to be, won over by some of that and experiencing it themselves. And it's no coincidence that 2 Meter Peter is getting the best out of himself now too, because he was in on the joy as well, and he was carrying on a little bit with the Huss and the young boys as well. And it just, it's. I
was now going to link to that article on with Roberts. You might have seen it. There was an interview with Roberts where he said had the shoulder injury, but I wasn't going to let that end my season. I wanted to play. Here's a kid who wants to play. He's got a bung shoulder. He don't give a shit. I'll get that done at the end of the year. I want to finish the season. And running out. Okay, we're getting beaten by 70 points. Now he overused the footy. He wasted the ball quite a bit. He caused a few turnovers, but he's having a go. He's putting his body on the line. He's out there. He's got a cooked shoulder, and he's having a. And I just got that article was an example of the young blokes saying, because apparently Kako, he saw back, was pestering Brad Scott to get him to play him the next week. You're going to be out for 8 weeks. No, but I want to play. I want to get out there. They want to play. Yeah. And if you can get that infectious attitude to go through your older blokes, then suddenly everything comes together. And that seemed to happen in the GWS game. They all seem to be on the same page. We're all going to, but I just think the blokes are, and just like the supporters, we just want to see the season finished. Let's get the season over with, and we'll wait for the new coach, and we can get all the excitement. It was funny. I saw the Caro they asked her who was at the Essendon job, she said, "I can't say." No, you can't say because you don't want to say the name that you don't like of the person that you don't know.
When did she say that? Today?
It was on AW. Where she does the AW. It was on. I found it on YouTube. It's around on YouTube somewhere.
Today though, but was they comments that she made today on radio?
It was comments made. Yeah, it was in the last day or so.
Can you focus? I need you to focus. What were her exact words? I can't say.
Her words were, "I can't say." Now she says
that's not her style.
Say,
she never says I can't say. Why doesn't she just say?
Because she doesn't want to say James Hurd's name. That's why she doesn't want to say it's James Hurd as the coach. She doesn't want that. So she doesn't want to say it because then she'll be proven right, and she doesn't like to be proven right. She likes to be proven that I said this, I said it, I made the decision. But no.
But if she would hang on, but if she wants to be proven right, why wouldn't she say his name if she knows that that's what's that's
well, I don't know. Her hatred for Essendon has been going on for a long time. We know that. But I just thought it was surprising that she said she can't say.
Yeah, because she never says that. She always says.
Because she's always spouting some bullshit, that can be proven.
Yeah.
But now I did notice too that we tossed the coin before the game outside. There was talk about, because Collingwood did it last week where they tossed the coin inside.
Yeah.
The AFL had brought in a new rule about tossing the coin on the inside. And when I heard that, I said, "Oh, that must be for Channel 7 matches," because Channel 7 have advertising between the goals. So, if we can put that, we don't have to have that outside. We can yabber longer. We can put some more ads in before the game starts. We don't have to worry about the toss of the coin. That was just my.
All right, let's to end the show. Let's bring Muzz to the conversation. Muzz, why are we vertical today?
What's going on with Muzz?
You're judging me already. I've been on 4 seconds. Jesus Christ.
I'm not judging you. I just know that somebody in the chat's going to say, "Can you tell him to turn the vertical?" So I'm just getting ahead of the comment that's coming.
I'm wearing an Adelaide jumper.
I know this community.
Yeah. Well. I'm only going to be on here for 2 seconds. Now that I'm going to get off. Mate, I'm not going to be here for long, so you can keep talking to the owner. Well, I got to go. I got to run and do things. I'm not staying around for too long. I've got a lot of things to do.
Okay. How are you? How are you feeling?
Yeah, great. I'm currently sick, but I'm getting through life okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
All good. Peter Wright, your man, really well tonight. Really, really good tonight.
Yep.
I thought it's kick six goals, 1.
Yes. He missed one.
He had 20 disposals too, so a good day out. Setterfield thought was amazing tonight too. Really, really good.
He was.
Dyson Sharp. Can we make more of him, please?
Can we make more of him? Okay, I'm going to send a carrier pigeon to his parents. Can you make more Dyson Sharps, please?
And
we've got a cloning machine, maybe. Maybe we can just get a cloning machine and clone them.
We'll take that too. Caddy, go back to kicking lessons. I'm just going to roast Caddy. I feel bad. Kako, first quarter, disappointing. Same with Caddy. Alachka played really well tonight, I thought too. Credit to Adelaide though. Phil thought that was a problem. Imagine they had Fogarty down there tonight. What would have happened?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
We're young. On Fox Footy, they said that we're a growing team, which it looks like we are, but yeah. We've got some pieces titled Jackson Artemis. We're a growing team.
A growing
I think it was
team.
Healy, Jared Healy. He said they've got pieces of the puzzle. It's not going to be the next few years, but they're growing. They can see the growth.
Yep.
Jackson Artemis, I thought he played a really good game too.
Yeah, I like. He's got a bit of pace, hasn't he?
He does have a bit of pace around. It's really, really good.
The ball pretty well.
Yeah, I thought Roberts. For all that Roberts had a good game, I reckon one of his quieter nights. I felt Roberts. I don't feel like he had the ball as much in his hands that we would have liked off the half-back line, especially the fact we're missing Ridley and also a lot of other people. But yeah.
What do you think of Redmond's game, Muzz?
He was off and on. I didn't didn't really watch Redmond, to be honest, as a senior
He
player.
was tagging. He was supposed to be tagging.
He went straight to Dawson at the first quarter. I saw. I was at work for the first half, so I didn't get to watch much of it, but it was good from what I saw from Redmond. We dropped the tag, I think, in the second half. And Dawson got off the channel.
The first quarter is worth watching on replay. The rest of it you can find the bin, but you can watch the first quarter.
That was fun. I don't know about you, Noel, but like you were at the ground, so the energy was fun. It was a really fun first quarter. Everybody was up and about, and you could tell that they were feeling it too. Shame it didn't.
But gee,
Great, I've got to get off
the Essendon supporters, haven't they? Haven't they all dropped off? It's just nobody's turning up. 20,000 again this week. Only 14,000 at the last Marvel match.
No, we'll be lucky to get 15,000 down at the Cattery on next Saturday night when we versus the Cattery.
We're sold out, mate. There are real Geelong supporters there.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't think anyone else is going.
It's been
full
sold
of
out.
kitty cats. Full of cat people. All right, Muzzy. We love you. Goodbye.
See ya.
Good old mate.
A nice brief cameo.
Yeah, brief cameo. Now, as I said, I won on Thursday night. I won the funniest comedian for the second time at that venue. So a $25 food voucher, which is a bit rough, seeing that most of their meals are $30. But so yeah.
That is cheeky. How many people were you up against?
There was 8 comedians, and I think there were 3 that were funnier, that I thought were funnier than me, but the audience seemed to like me. So yeah, it was 8 comedians.
That's a 1 out of 8. That's well done. Go you, Noel.
I did my volleyball joke, which was, like I'm terrible at sport. You know how all these people got ADD and ADHD and all this sort of stuff now? I've come up with my own. It's called TLSA, total lack of sporting ability. That's my one. So I want to get that trending.
Yeah.
I used to play volleyball, and there's 6 players in a team, and show you how good I was. I wore number 8. So that was but yeah. But I was a premiership player in my volleyball team. We won the C grade pennant, and we got put up to the B grade. That's scary because most of those guys were representing Victoria, so we're up against them pretty serious. So I can feel exactly how the Essendon kids are feeling when you're playing against blokes. Like,
I can't tell if we're still talking about the jokes or not. I'm working. Are we going to serious chat now? I thought you were telling jokes. Okay.
Well, I just said my joke was that, that's how bad I was in a team of 6 or number 8.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right, that went straight over my head because I've been here for 2.5 hours and it's been a long day. Sorry, Noel. Are you expecting me to laugh at that? I didn't laugh. Sorry.
Yeah. That joke I sent you about me buying, I bought shoes off a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with. I've been tripping all day.
Did you come up with that one yourself?
No, sadly not.
I feel like I've heard that one before.
One of the after the gig, some of the audience were sitting around afterwards, and we just, some bloke would tell a joke, and then you know how that sort of happens. If someone tells a joke, that reminds you of another joke, and then suddenly you've got 5 or 6 people telling jokes. And one of the audience members did that joke, so I have to remember that one. That was actually pretty good. So we're doing all sorts of just random old jokes that have been around the traps for a long time, but it was good fun. Well done on your victory. At least you're getting victories. Our team might not be getting victories right now, but you got a nice little W for your column. So, lovely. Yeah. Well, all we can say is I wasn't unhappy with the effort. I thought the guys put the effort in. Harry Jones is not a defender. Please don't play him there anymore.
Okay.
He got in. I think several times he got in the way when Reid was in perfect position to take an intercept mark. He would come across because he hasn't worked out where his positioning is, and so he got in the way a couple of times. So I think wing maybe on the forward line is not a bad option. We lacked May. May would have been handy. Another big, gorilla up forward would have helped. But I think they should just play Jones up there. Just give us another marking target. And because that's what we lack. We need one more big key forward, and May's going to be that man, I think, in the future. But for now, we should be playing Jones because we don't really have much in the VFL as far as key forwards that we can bring in. As you said, McMahon's not really a contactor man.
Edwards is the only.
Yeah, and he's due back this week, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he would have played VFL.
But what's the point of dropping? Because that's the second time now that Blackiston won't play. He got dropped, and he didn't play in the VFL. He was held over, and then we had
Perkins too.
Game. Yeah,
Perkins too. Not like a couple of weeks ago, he was held over, so he misses another game. Strange.
Yeah, so what's the point of dropping blokes when there's no VFL? I mean, I know you've got to drop them, but they come back next week anyway. I went to the AFL shop on the way out to see what Essendon badges I could find. They had Lockie Blackiston. They'd run out of Peter Wright, strangely enough. I don't know why that would have been.
I may just have a drawer full of Peter Wright badges. Full. It's full. I can't close the drawer. It's No, I'm kidding. I obviously don't.
I was hoping to be some Jackson Artemis badges, but they didn't have them out yet. But I nearly bought a Newen badge because I want to get the lesser lights. I've always been a fan of the ones that nobody else is a fan of as much. Everyone was into the Watsons and the Maddens and the Danahers and the Salmons and the Caddies and all that. But for me, give me a Pryor. Give me a Newen. Give me a Blackiston. Those sort of guys.
They all need some love. That is for sure. All right, Noel. Well, if we're not going to see you next week.
VFL next week. That's all we have to worry about. Don't worry about the Essendon Geelong game. Just call that a bye. We won't bother with that one. Let's talk about the VFL next week.
Sounds good. That's a great plan. Love that plan. I'm looking forward to getting down to Winter Hill to watch that. All right, Noel, have a good week. Good luck with your poker game.
Go the Bombers.
Bye.
Woo-hoo.
All right, everyone. Let's call it a night. We'll be back here. What will be Sunday next week? Is it Sunday next week? Should have checked that. I think it must be. We get all Sundays, right? But surely they're not putting Geelong at 4:40 next week. Surely not. That can't be happening. Oh, we're Saturday. Oh, so we get a lovely full team selection show on Thursday night. That'll be fun. It's Saturday 4:30. Delightful. Selfishly delightful, of course. I'm sorry if that interrupts anybody else's time schedule, but for me, delightful. All right, well, we'll see you tomorrow night for the ratings. Well, you all know where we're going, don't you? We all know where we're going, right? It's predictable, and a few others will be getting some love. So I think I can get Pommy on side for a few of them. All right, everyone, go to bed. So have a wonderful sleep. I'll see you throughout the week as usual. Thank you so much to everyone for all of your love and support. As I said, hit the like button, please. Subscribe button. Become a member. That's a lovely, very, very heartwarming way to support the channel. And otherwise, I'll see everybody throughout the week. Have a great Monday, and I'll see you all then.